Check, check. Checkity check.
Give me 1 second, Jason. Give me 1 second. Apparently you can hear me, but I cannot hear you. Please stand by.
Jeff's return audio is very low. Coming back here, I can hear all the noise in the background.
I am retarded.
I got him now. You are a piece of work. I got him now. Say something, Jeff.
But I can grow a mustache. Just saying.
Can you hear me, Jeff?
Chris is working on getting the audio fixed.
Word.
We will be with you momentarily.
I think you should play a flute solo while we wait.
Okay. Check 2. Can you hear me now? The cup's in the way.
I'm so sick of Alabama. I hate Alabama so much. The dynasty is not over.
Loud and clear.
The dynasty has just begun. Roll Tide.
I like that, though. Roll Tide. That makes me smile. Oh, where'd it go? Oh.
Yeah. Just make sure we get off and running. Yeah. This will be our guest cam. It can be over here for a few minutes, but
That's not a bad idea.
yeah, typically when we do interviews on ESPN, what we'll do is we'll have a camera that's directly on our guests, and then we'll have a camera that's got all three of them in there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
To be the guest?
Yeah.
Wait, you said the guest is here?
No, so the guest will be in the middle.
Guest in the middle.
Yeah. And that is the guest headphone, by the way.
Okay. So Tony's going to be, Tony will be a guest, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's our third segment.
So this pick, you're picking up? This is picking me up?
Fix it if it need be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost 8:40 now.
You really need to put in a rule.
I tried doing that 20 minutes ago. He's like, we've got this, that, and the other, and I'm like, but we need to get the order in. So now, if we order it now, it's going to have to use. I'm not a complete one.
Yeah, we may have to.
Laid back. I didn't know it was that laid back. You said you wanted it laid back. I didn't know it was that laid back.
It's okay. Everybody knows who he is.
Thank you, Chris. And he can do what he wants.
Tell Bald Eagle this.
You want to?
I ain't got to have insurance. They know who I am.
You want to go ahead and put it in the order? You want to go ahead and put it in our order?
You can? Yeah. Okay. Since our limits are, so we're pretty much ready to go.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I guess we can sit at these two tables.
No, I'm going to give you an idea and I'll let you tell.
Y'all ready to order?
Yeah, I'll do it.
I haven't eaten here in years. So, you go ahead. Well, because I was thinking about something else. Here. I was thinking about wings, but then I had to think about my beer.
Jason, you know what you want? Start with me.
Let me get a small boneless.
Are all of the wings breaded? Did you see what Rappaport put out this week?
Yeah,
Is
I
he?
can hear that. Can you hear me okay?
Was he? I never had any dealings with him.
You want to move the camera, dude?
I never had any dealings. He's that bad?
It's Friday night in Mississippi, where high school football takes center stage across the Magnolia State. That also means it's time for the Friday Night End Zone's Game of the Week on the Spirit Media Network. The Friday Night End Zone Game of the Week is brought to you in part by King's Daughters Medical Center, providing quality health and wellness in a Christian environment. By Mississippi Ag, Ag Up. By Centerpoint Energy, always there. By Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference. By Pole Chaps of Brandon. Need your business to stand out? Pole Chaps has you covered. By Vans Sporting Goods, online at vansoutdoors.com. Now let's head to the field with tonight's crew bringing you all the action right here on the Spirit Media Network.
All right, we welcome you live to Buffalo Wild Wings, our final show of the 2019 football season. Glad that you're with us here tonight as we're live from Buffalo Wild Wings for tonight's Friday Night End Zone show. We're going to have reaction from all sorts of games that have taken place this week. Of course, high school football taking place right now as we speak. We'll give you some scores here in just a little bit, but also we'll have some Egg Bowl reaction as well as we are here live at the Buffalo Wild Wings here in Flowood. I'm Jason Scarborough. He is Jeff Ead, the bearded one as we call him, as we're here on many of the screens here at Buffalo Wild Wings, and we're glad that you're here with us here tonight. So before we get kicked off here and kind of lay out the show for everybody,
okay,
how cool is this, the setup here at Buffalo Wild Wings, when you look around here and you see everything, this particular location here at Flowood. Got to give a shout out to Jason Hall, by the way.
Yes, thank you very much.
So we're
Jason.
glad that Jason allowed us to do this. Of course, the managers here, Centel and Brent, appreciate their support so much.
And of course, Mia.
Of course, Mia taking care of us. Yeah, that's good ad placement right
Absolutely.
there. How about that? So take a look at everything here, the smorgasbord that they have. So there's so much to talk about and look forward here in this particular show. We've got a packed show for you coming up here in a matter of moments. So,
It just keeps bringing
and
it on.
the food keeps being poured on here, so food
game
everywhere.
day.
It's
Just
kind of
like
like
game day.
game day, yeah. You know, yesterday was Thanksgiving, so everybody got carb loaded, so we decided to keep the carb loading. We just decided to
well.
continue. Might as well. So, Buffalo Wild Wings, Chris Bragg, appreciate him. He's running the show. Very cool setup. Give you a little idea of what we've got coming up here in tonight's show. It's a packed show, by the way. Egg Bowl reaction from both sides. Mississippi State and Ole Miss, of course. Mississippi State 21-20 winners last night as Mia attacks the camera there. We'll get Chris to you got time. Hey, it's live TV, man. We're good. So Egg Bowl reaction from both sides. The coaches' futures. What does this mean for both coaches going forward? We'll talk about that. Elijah Moore, the antics on the field. He has issued a statement, an apology statement, as well as Ole Miss, the athletic department coming out with a statement there about the post-game antics. We'll talk about that as well. We'll have the Elijah Moore call from Russian television, the ESPN version of Russian television last night, the final moments, and we've listened to it, and we've got it. We're going to play it for you at some point here tonight, so you want to stay tuned for that. High school scores tonight. Tony Bahu's here. He's going to be our guest coming up here in a matter of moments. So Tony was already telling us about some of the scores. We'll give you some of those here in just a second.
Exciting night.
It's an exciting night. Samaria Terry of WJTV Channel 12 Sports. She's scheduled to join us at about 9:15, 9:20, somewhere in there. Tony Bahu around 9:30. Shay Hodge, former wide receiver at Ole Miss and current Hillcrest Christian head football coach. He's got some opinions on what happened last night in Starkville, not just the Egg Bowl, but, of course, Elijah Moore and what happened after the ball game. Of course, Shay's got a thing or two. He knows a thing or two, being wide receiver there at Ole Miss. And David Culpepper at 10:15. He's the marketing director there at King's Daughters Medical Center. He'll join us also tonight. College football playoff. Jeff and I have some opinions on who should be in and who should not be allowed in based on strength of schedule, based on a lot of other factors as well. We'll talk about that. And we got a great setup here. If you want to watch us on Facebook and watch us on Twitter, you can do so. Spirit Media MS on Twitter. Of course, Facebook page Friday Night End Zone, and our YouTube channel Spirit Media Network. I think our friend Johnny Beck's watching here tonight. So before we get a little further here, before we take our first time out here in a few minutes, let's get your reaction, just raw takeaways, if you will, from last night and the Egg Bowl. Because people want to say that it was a great game. I don't know that I want to say it was a great game because there were, Ole Miss had 3 turnovers. Mississippi State, Schrader only had, I think, just over 100 yards passing. Wasn't a great game in terms of fundamentals. It was entertaining, and it had a great finish. I think that's probably the best way that you can say that. How would you frame up last night?
I would say it was an evenly matched game.
Yeah.
We talked about the first half, how they were about 9 yards apart in total offense. Mississippi State came right out of the gate doing well. Ole Miss had to come back. Second half is a whole new game, and it just kind of went from there. I would say it was an evenly matched game.
Yeah.
Much, unlike what people predicted. They predicted that it would be a blowout by Ole Miss, and it wasn't a blowout. And it was a very well evenly matched game.
But, when we got in the car, I just got to go on the record saying this. When I came to your house yesterday, I told you and your sweet wife, who is a diehard Bulldog fan, I said, I think Mississippi State's going to win this ball game. And she said, there's no way.
Yep, she did.
And I also said that to you earlier this week, if you remember.
Yep.
It's just if you've seen so many of these games, and Tony Bahu's going to join us later on, he's seen 15 or 20 of these in person. He and I have gone to a couple together just as fans and watched these games. So if you've seen enough of these, you know that the team who's favored typically is not the team that's going to win. And how Ole Miss was favored with, just if you've watched them this year, I don't know how they were favored. I don't know why they would, but we all said it. We all said, hey, if you look at how they played, if you look at the fire against LSU, against Alabama, if you look at how they played, if you looked at the future being bright, all those things, then you said to yourself, okay, Ole Miss seems to be playing with more moxie, with more promise, and all those types of things. So when you look at Ole Miss coming into that game, I mean, look, you're probably going to say they were favored, but this is a rivalry game. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and, as they say, never count out the cowbells. Home field advantage was huge for Mississippi State. I think the players stepped it up and played for their name on their jersey. There may even been a couple playing for Coach Moorhead, but nonetheless, they stepped it up a notch for the rivalry game and, did a good job against Ole Miss. Even if Ole Miss came in, built to take the lead and dominate the game, they weren't able to due to that kind of 12th man atmosphere. I noticed something watching the replay on TV today, that the TV doesn't give enough justice to the sound of those cowbells and the sound of the crowd. It is almost deafening. It is so loud, and you can barely hear it on air. So when they're saying, oh, it's really loud, you can't hear that. You can't respect that. But if you're a player on the field dealing with that kind of sound, it's difficult. And it's intimidating. And I think Ole Miss came out intimidated the first quarter.
We were talking to our friends at Sports 601. Shout out to James Pugh and Kevin Lindsay. We got to sit next to them last night in the press box. Great guys. They do great work. They're covering Petaluma Grove here tonight. And on the field with James, it was interesting because he tells me that he felt like Ole Miss, that they seemed a little intimidated, like they were scared. That Plumlee seemed rattled for really the first time this season, that he played with a lot of confidence, a lot of moxie. But in this particular ball game, it just seemed like there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of intimidation. It just seemed like there was just a lot that got to him early. I think the fumble by Ely early really played a big part. It just seemed to rattle them.
Just put the brakes on their momentum.
Yeah.
Just stopped them in their tracks.
Do you think that, and you and I talked about this in the car last night too, do you think it's a matter of just them never being able to recover? Because it seemed like after that fumble, they had some confidence, had some momentum. And after the Ely fumble, it just seemed like no adjustments were made. There was no – I don't know. It just seemed like they couldn't gain back that confidence. Like, for some reason after the fumble, it's like it gave Mississippi State this life that – because they didn't look good on that first offensive possession at all. Right. And after that Ely fumble, it just seemed like from that point on, it was on.
Right. And I think they also felt like they had more time left.
Yeah.
They had enough time to play with, and they didn't. I think Ole Miss, I think they came into the game I think they were overconfident coming into the game.
Really?
I do. And, because there was a lot of press talking about, how they were just going to dominate Mississippi State. And, You can believe it. I talked about today with the media presence that there's so much influence on, how a player sees a coach and, the coaching carousel, and they get caught up in everything. Well, they also get caught up in the ESPN and the other media outlets that are building up a rivalry game, and they can't help but hear it. It's on everything. They turn around. So, yeah, I think it's a lot easier now to, get overconfident going into a rivalry game especially.
All right, we're going to take our first time out here, and when we come back, we're scheduled to have Samaria Terry, WJTV Channel 12 Sports. We'll have her remotely. Then coming up later on this hour, Tony Bahu, former sports director at Channel 60, sports guru, that's what he is, and he'll join us. He's seen 15 or 20 of these Egg Bowls up close and in person, so he's got a unique perspective on these particular matchups. Of course, we'll talk a little high school as well. Our first time out here live from Buffalo Wild Wings in Flowood. Glad that you're with us tonight as we roll on here on the Spirit Media Network.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
A 2-minute break? Was that 2 minutes? Huh?
That was fast.
That was really fast for a 2-minute break there. Goodness gracious. Can we take another break while we get some? Let's take another break. Can we do that?
Connect with Samaria.
Holy cow. What are we doing over here?
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect.
Oh, I meant to taste that to her.
King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
Before digging in my yard, I always call 811 to have my utility lines marked, to avoid service interruptions or injury. As CenterPoint Energy says, it's better to call 811 now than 911 later. And if I suspect a gas leak, I leave the area immediately on foot and call CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe, remote location. Really?
CenterPoint Energy invests in its infrastructure to help keep you safe. CenterPoint Energy. Always there.
Like hunting or fishing, Van Sporting Goods is a tradition that's been passed down through the generations. Since 1992, Mississippi's hunters have come to Vans to gear up for their favorite seasons. And this season is no different. You can't miss with the Loophole Optics. And find the perfect fit for the largest gun selection in Mississippi, featuring Browning, Benelli, Winchester, and more, plus accessories that take your outings to the next level. Van Sporting Goods, a name you know as well as your own.
A smile is one of the first things most people notice. And for over a decade, Germany Dental has helped change smiles for thousands of people across Mississippi.
I was so embarrassed about my teeth that I never smiled. But now that I have dental implants and cosmetic veneers from Germany Dental, I can't stop smiling. My decision to see Dr. Germany literally changed my life.
Germany Dental, changing lives, one smile at a time. Call 601-825-4746 today.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCI, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi community colleges. The MNCI provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCI is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCI and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
Your man cave is a lie. It's not a masculine refuge. It's a basement in your wife's house. Caves don't have frilly craft store signs. Yell about it. In your man cave, no one can hear you scream. Wake up! Head upstairs and get to B-dubs, where the kegerators are just called taps, the wall color is TVs, and the wings taste like freedom. Also, your friends actually like coming here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
Need your business to stand out and pop? Then it's time to visit Polshap's Screen Print and Embroidery in Brandon. Polshap's can custom design your marketing campaigns with custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional materials that set you apart from the competition. Speaking of setting apart, Polshap's does all their work in-house from start to finish. No outsourcing, meaning faster turnaround time and lower prices for you, the customer. Visit Polshaps.com to find out more and get started on standing out.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
Hey, we welcome you back here to Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm joined by a legend now. How you like that? Call you a legend?
That means you're like almost dead.
Come on.
You're retired, like you're a legend.
No,
like, all right, Larry Legend, and he's not playing anymore.
Well, you do deserve a lot of credit for your time at Channel 16.
I appreciate that.
What you built there. I mean, Blitz 16. I want to revisit that because that was, if you don't mind.
No.
I mean, I know you didn't realize that Memory Lane was going to be open tonight, but take us back to that because that show has stood the test of time, and that was pretty much your baby.
Right. So the year or two before I got there, Rick Whitlow and Stephanie Yurchik, who were the two anchors who preceded me and Rick, kind of started a Friday night football show. It wasn't labeled. It was just a highlight show, and they would run, a couple of 5 games and maybe have a coach in there. And, it was just, your normal stuff. And then when I came aboard, I said, let's ramp this up. And let's make, because I had produced one in Houston before. And so I said, I was in a big city. We had a lot of games. We did some features. And we didn't drag it out. And we didn't regurgitate some things. And we made it live and functional. And it, it was like a game day show. Kind of like what NFL primetime was like.
Yeah.
Except you would have a feature and you would have a coach in. And so we took that, we renamed it Blitz. It was a company-wide thing that they were doing, and now I see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's Blitz everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like everywhere. Like you go, I watch other channels, I'm like, it's Blitz this, and I'm like, Well, I was doing that 20 years ago. So we had it blitz, and then and then when I became a sports director in 2003, then we really took it to another level. I said, all right, I'm going to be creative. I did the high five highlights. We got it sponsored. I got more sponsorships coming in because we did different segments. So you could sell the segments, kind of like what you do. You do this segment here, you do this segment there, and you sell it. I mean, that's how you make money in TV.
That's how you make money, yeah.
And it became profitable for the station. And, you know, they've changed it a little bit. Every personality does a little different, but I like the way we did it. We did the highlights. We did a feature segment. We did the high five. And we did some scores at the end, and in the coach's corner. And so it all kind of blended in, and it was a good, solid 30 minutes of good content, good highlights. And we went to far places. We would go to, we carried it like I think they finished out last week. We did championship shows, like
I remember
live
that.
at the vet,
that.
and we're at the big house. We're going to do a championship show here, and just carried it all the way through. And it was great. I mean, people loved it, and it worked really well.
See, I remember, if I remember right, you guys would do like the whole shebang. Like, I think I remember. Didn't you take your desk out there? Like,
oh yeah,
the desk and everything was out there.
I mean,
like
we
it was
like game day, man.
You did exactly. It looked just like game day, and I'm like, man. And I think it was so.
And that was before the technology.
That
like
was
if I had what you guys have now, shoo, buddy.
What I thought was interesting though is it was so unique. It caught everybody's attention. You know, when you guys put that on the mat, and you were doing things that kind of push the envelope a little bit and raise the bar for everyone else. And I don't think anybody else, I know for a fact, nobody else around town was doing it like you guys were doing it when you were at Channel 16.
Right.
And so then everybody else tried to start following suit and trying to, I'm not going to say copy. I'm not going to say that.
I mean, but I mean, that flattery, I mean, that's good. I mean, when Travis Raycheck and Chuck would do it over at Fox and, you know, with their Dr. Pepper scoreboard show, that was good. I mean, I wanted to elevate everything in the state. Let's be better than, we're not just Mississippi. We can put a good, solid product. We are the capital city. There's no reason why television in Jackson, Mississippi can't be at least on par with the rest of the South, if not the Southeast and beyond. And you know, it has. I mean, guys have gone on to bigger and better things, and I'm proud of that.
Okay, so when you look at Blitz 16, of course, you also covered college football.
Yep.
Obviously. And you and I were talking earlier today about all the Egg Bowls that we've seen separately. You and I actually went to an Egg Bowl together.
Yep.
It was
that was fun.
Derek Piggy's returned the punt.
Yeah.
Was that 07, I think? It was Ogeron's last year.
Yep.
That was when he got the pink slip right after. What was it, like a fourth down? He decided to –
He was on the 49, on his own 49, decides to go for it. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis gets stuffed.
Yeah.
And they take it back. They score, and then he has to punt, and then Pegues takes it back again, and they win the game. I mean, that they had that game done. Done in Starkville. Probably would have saved his job, but then he went 0-8 in the SEC. That was his last game, and, you know, he got fired, and, you know, the rest is kind of history.
laughing because I remember you looking at me and go, no way.
I mean, we used to, because we're
you were shocked.
Bro, I mean, because it was a bonehead call. Like, dude, just punt the ball. You got the game won. It is what it is. And
now look at Coach O now.
Well, yeah, and you live and learn. Look, young coaches. I mean, look at Bill Belichick when he was with Cleveland.
Right.
Look at Pete Carroll when he was with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Guys get fired, learn, humble themselves, move on, and the good ones excel after that.
Yeah.
In any life, any part of life, that's how it is.
Yeah.
I didn't believe this until a couple of years ago because I had never been fired from a job. And then when you do, you get better. You take a step back. And then you move 2 steps forward.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I am going to give you a chance to talk about what you're doing now, but we got to talk about this Egg Bowl because you've seen 15, 20 in person, either as a fan or as, you know, in a professional capacity.
Yeah, I covered it from 99 to 2007. And then after that, did it in a professional, like I would get tickets because we sponsored – you know, either both teams actually with Mississippi Blood Services, and then as a general fan the last probably 5 years. So, yeah, I've seen 20 Egg Bowls. That doesn't give me a plethora like some guys who grew up, going to high school and elementary school. But 20 years is 2 decades worth. I think that's a lot.
Egg Bowls. That is a lot of Egg Bowls, and especially when you consider there's been a ton of them that have been played on Thanksgiving. And and let me say this, had a chance to bump into some of the national folks last night, whether you're national, regional, local. I don't think that folks understand how hard it is to work on a holiday and cover a game like that of that magnitude. So kudos to you for covering it the way that you did all the years that you did, regional, local, national, doesn't matter. Kudos to all the folks that work those type of games. So last night, can you remember an Egg Bowl in all the Egg Bowls that you've seen that looked like the one last night, that had the sports theater, if you will, tragic and yet comical all in the same breath?
Yeah, going back to 99.
Yeah.
The pick and kick. I mean, basically, Cutcliffe had that one. And it seems to be Ole Miss guys, whether it's a player or a coach, making bonehead decisions that cost them the game. It's usually in Starkville, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So, 99, they had that game pretty much dead to rights, run the ball. You had Deuce McAllister. Cutcliffe calls, a pass play fairly downfield, not even a safe throw. McClintock makes a pick off of, and then Westerfield kicks the ball to win the game. I mean, it's one of those weird kind of crazy things. So, and that was the state's best season, or at least they got them to the Peach Bowl after they had won the SEC West, and so it was one of their better seasons that they had, but Ole Miss had that one won too. So it's the same thing over and over again. History does repeat itself.
It does seem like, because I was fortunate. We're going to have Samari on a little bit later. We're going to connect to her a little bit later. But I was fortunate to go on their sports show, their Sports Zone show yesterday, and I was just talking about, they said the Egg Bowls that have been played in this stadium, and I was talking about all the crazy Egg Bowls that I personally had seen in Davis Wade, where Ole Miss was the unfortunate beneficiary of crazy, off-the-wall decisions by coaches like Cutcliffe, like you just talked about. Some of the Ogeron. And do you add Matt Luke to that list now is the question, because there have been some things that he's done at Egg Bowls where you go, last year I can understand it to a degree. There was no way Ole Miss was going to win that game.
Right.
This year, you play like absolute junk. Let's be honest. Ole Miss played awful. But Ole Miss never matched their intensity. It just seemed like they never made the adjustments, and they could never rebound from the Ely fumble. Just there were a lot of things that just seemed like the staff couldn't get control of it.
They kept shooting themselves in the foot, basically. I mean, 3 turnovers to 1. They outgained them, so they were moving the ball. They just had bad decisions at the wrong time. I'm surprised, to tell you the truth, that I didn't see Ely or Plumlee on the final couple of drives. Now, okay, you change the quarterback, but your best runner, the leading runner in the game besides, the state guys, was, churning and burning some stuff, and he never played. Now, I don't know if he got hurt, and they never said it on the broadcast. I wasn't there physically at the game. But, so it was just mind-boggling, especially when you got to the end zone. A couple times, the first drive when they got down with Matt Corral and he threw the pick, I didn't see Ely. Would have been a great time to run the draw right there, get a first down, and then, use your bigger backs after that. But, hindsight's 20/20. But, again, discipline, not there. They had a long week to play that game.
Yeah.
You would think they would have some more wrinkles in the game plan.
Right.
They should have really took it to them. They kind of stayed in true instead of using that extra time off to really throw some different things at them.
They didn't make any adjustments at halftime either. It just –
I mean, and look, I like Matt. I like his family. They're when they were down here in the Jackson area, I know those guys. But that's indicative for the last 3 years. I mean, I go back to the Cal game that very first year. And no adjustments were made in that Cal game, then.
Zero.
So
do you think, and it's interesting that we're talking about Matt Luke, and he's such a nice guy, great family, and but the unfortunate part about the business that you were in for so long and the business that we're in now in sports media, coaches are judged on wins and losses. I mean, that is the unfortunate truth of it. I mean, that's just the reality. And for Matt, you say typically coaches need to get about 3 years. Well, this is year 3 if you count his interim year, technically, and it's progressively getting worse.
Yeah, his stats are getting worse. He's, technically getting younger, but you can't use that as an excuse anymore. Next year's schedule does not bode well. So do you let him ride it out one more year? But by that time, is Ely and Plumlee playing baseball pretty much full time, and they're hanging up their cleats and just concentrating on baseball. Then what do you have behind the thing? There's rumors that Matt Corral may go into the transfer portal.
I think he will.
If he does, then who's your backup? What does Ole Miss football look like heading into 2021 versus 2020? It'd be interesting to see if they do make the decision after 3. You probably give the guy the 4th year, but then do you really put yourself behind the 8 ball going into 2021? So
you think it's a money issue right now, like buyouts, assistants, all that kind of? Because I'm hearing that from people within the program that it really comes down to money, because they're looking at, gosh, what is it, like over $20 million in buyouts for Luke and assistants. So, for a program that has not had the slice of the bowl revenue that the SEC gets
over the last 2 years because
of bowl ban. So they hadn't had that money. So the budget, there's money at Ole Miss, there's no doubt, but the budget's probably a little thinner because of that lack of bowl revenue. So are they waiting for a buyout?
Well, and so is next year just basically a punt year. So you set yourself up now. Kind of, if he does well, great.
Yeah.
And we might extend him a year. But if he doesn't, then we're already starting to find who's out there, who's the next guy, and identifying him now. So this time next year, we can pull the trigger. So, it's one of those, just hold water, let's see how this thing goes, and kind of go from there. But what Ole Miss fans, whether they're the couch guys or the guys with the big money guys, what they want to see is, not to be embarrassed.
Right.
And I think most people are now embarrassed, and they use that word, whether they, loosely, seriously, whatever, as a school. We've already been embarrassed by Hugh Freeze.
Yes.
Now we're being embarrassed on the field by actions on the player. And, luckily there was a Saints game on that was fairly competitive, but most people were like me, were flipping back and forth when the Saints were pulling away. We're like, all right, let me watch. Oh, wow, this is kind of good, interesting at the end. So a lot of people actually watched that game last night, so much so that, they were watching it in Russia. Whatever.
Don't you love that clip?
Oh, yeah, it was great.
That Russian clip.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. We're going to play it later on in the show. Chris was able to put it in the program for us, so we're going to play that later on. But the Elijah Moore, and I'll ask you this before I let you go.
Okay.
The Elijah Moore deal, okay, so we were talking about it. I'm not going to say it was a lively discussion. Okay,
sure.
Right between all of us here. Newman's hanging out here, you and I, Jeff, and Newman, all of us talking about it. There seems to be on both sides, there's some folks that want to say, oh, he's a kid. You put your arm around him and say, and there's folks out there, hey, you remember when you were 18 or 19 years old, you did ridiculous, stupid thing. And yes, that's true. All of us did. So there's this element of show them grace, love on them, and I agree with that. But also, I think we've entered this phase of just intercollegiate athletics where we almost want to make excuses for people when they screw up royally, and Moore did that last night. What side of the fence are you on with that?
I really, and I hate to be in the middle, but I see both sides.
Yeah.
And so, if you were Elijah's dad or the coach in this case, right? Your position coach, your defensive or your offensive coordinator, your head coach, you're like, man, we have talked about playing smart, not shooting ourselves in the foot. Let's be men and act like we've been there before, not using that as just an excuse. So somewhere that's got to seep down. But like your own child, when they do boneheaded things, you kind of like, man, all right, I get it. We all have done dumb things, but in a big stage you can't do it. So you kind of forgive, but you can't forget one of those things. Like, all right, man, all right, we got you. We understand. Heat of the moment. But Matt Luke's got to take that. All the coach, again, position coach, offense coordinator,
right,
head coach, all have to be in tandem saying, we need to do a better job instructing our young men how to act like Ole Miss Rebels. And if they do that in August, in July, in spring practice, that doesn't happen with 4 seconds left in the game and you go tie it. You may still lose the game, but that's not happening because you have drilled in to Elijah, hey, man, we're not going to make a boneheaded decision to help us lose this game.
I guess that's what bothers me. Not that it was obviously a boneheaded play. The fact that he thinks it's okay to do that. I guess, that stands out to you a little bit. And you say, okay, the fact that he thought it was okay, where did that come from? And it kind of goes back to a discussion that I have with David Culpepper of King's Daughters Medical Center, plug, by the way. And we have this discussion all the time, and we say, you could call a play down in high school or college. Coaches call a play down, and then the player, instead of hearing red right, they hear blue left.
Right.
Yeah, and those kind of things happen. So I'm not saying that because Moore did what he did, you point a big finger at the coaching staff and say, oh, well, he thought it was okay to go out there and do that. But what really bothered me is when he goes to the sideline, no coach has got in his grill about anything. He goes over there with I guess I didn't see it. I was on the other end of the field. But I heard about it afterwards. He had like a belt, a wide receiver belt or something. It looked like something from Dollar General or something.
He had the WNO.
And I'm like, okay, some coach should have grabbed him and said, hey, that's not who we are. To me, at that moment. Now, there's going to be some folks on the other side that say, no, you don't do that publicly. You save that for the locker room. And now you get, of course, they had the statement. We'll talk about that too. That came out from Ole Miss, Keith Carter and Matt Luke. You probably saw it already. The joint statement that they apologized for the actions. They didn't apologize to Mississippi State. You didn't expect that, though. But they did apologize for what happened, how Elijah Moore acted, and they said they're going to handle it internally. I hate it when folks say that, when athletic programs say that. But maybe they will. And then Moore released a statement, too. So for me, I guess my problem is somebody didn't grab him when he got back to the sideline and say, hey, that's not who we are. That's not who we are. So,
yeah, I mean,
maybe I'm being too hard.
No, and again, last 4 seconds, they're trying to figure out. All right, we got to get the field goal on. But yeah, his position coach, who did not have anything to do with the special teams, probably should have grabbed him and said, "Hey, buddy," or other team captains around there, other leadership. That's where you have a young team. Who's the leader on that team to say, "Hey, buddy, we're not like that. We're going to do better." Mm-hmm. And this is not the first time. I mean, obviously, DK Metcalf had done it a couple of years ago.
So precedent was set.
The brawl last year.
Yep.
So, you had a week and a half. Let's talk about how we're going to act, how this game's going to go down. We're going to be on the road. Let's do this the right way and act like Ole Miss Rebels. And that's the sad part. But
that's
the
sad part,
again, it's just it's one of those things that we'll never forget. 2019. I mean, it'll go back as
It's going to go down as like
the game
this.
Away.
I was wondering when you're going to work it in. Look, are you going to be here for the rest of the show?
Yeah.
Because look, I know we've got this whole rundown, but you know how it is when sometimes the rundown doesn't go exactly like you want it to. I would like for you to come back for another segment and let's talk about the CFP, the College Football Playoff.
Sure.
Because I know you got some opinions on that, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You love the College Football Playoff, don't you?
Well, I do. I think it could be more, morphed and grown a little bit. But yeah, everything could be tweaked a little bit. Yep.
And we're going to tweak this program. So we're going to step aside, burn a timeout, come back and hopefully have Samaria Terry of WJTV Sports. Tony Bahu's hanging out with us. Newman Kazari, Jeff Eads here. Chris Bragg is here. We're live from Buffalo Wild Wings. Hope you'll come out and join us before they close up shop here. I think they close at midnight, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, nice.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you are going to hang around now.
Sure,
okay.
Yeah.
We're here till 11 o'clock and maybe a little after. So hang out with us. We're back in 2 minutes here on the Spirit Media Network.
Your man cave is a lie. It's not a masculine refuge. It's a basement in your wife's house. Caves don't have frilly craft store signs. Yell about it. In your man cave, no one can hear you scream. Wake up! Head upstairs and get to B-dubs, where the kegerators are just called taps. The wall color is TVs, and the wings taste like freedom. Also, your friends actually like coming here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
What if you really could have it all?
At Exit Realty,
We believe in making dreams
come true.
We believe
the home you want
is right there.
is right there.
And we'll help you find it.
Thoroughly trained, passionately committed
And always on your side.
You can count on us.
every step of the way. And you thought we just sold real estate?
We are Exit Realty. Think smart.
Think Exit.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
With 2 boys, I know about suspicious odors.
But CenterPoint Energy taught me something important. If I smell rotten eggs, it might be a gas leak. I should leave on foot immediately and call both CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe location. I also never store flammables like paint or gasoline near my natural gas appliances. One spark is all it takes to ignite fumes.
CenterPoint Energy provides tips to help you keep your family safe. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
Like hunting or fishing, Van Sporting Goods is a tradition that's been passed down through the generations. Since 1992, Mississippi's hunters have come to Vans to gear up for their favorite seasons. And this season is no different. You can't miss with the Loophole Optics. And find the perfect fit for the largest gun selection in Mississippi, featuring Browning, Benelli, Winchester, and more, plus accessories that take your outings to the next level. Van Sporting Goods, a name you know as well as your own.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCI, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi Community Colleges. The MNCI provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCI is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCI and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
A smile is one of the first things most people notice. And for over a decade, Germany Dental has helped change smiles for thousands of people across Mississippi.
I was so embarrassed about my teeth that I never smiled. But now that I have dental implants and cosmetic veneers from Germany Dental, I can't stop smiling. My decision to see Dr. Germany literally changed my life.
Germany Dental, changing lives, one smile at a time. Call 601-825-4746 today.
Your man cave is a lie. It's not a masculine refuge, it's a basement in your wife's house. Caves don't have frilly craft store signs. Yell about it. In your man cave, no one can hear you scream. Wake up! Head upstairs and get to B-dubs, where the kegerators are just called taps, the wall color is TVs, and the wings taste like freedom. Also, your friends actually like coming here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
What if you really could have it all?
At Exit Realty,
We believe in making dreams
come true.
We believe
the home you want
is right there.
is right there.
And we'll help you find it.
Thoroughly trained, passionately committed
And always on your side.
You can count on us.
every step of the way. And you thought we just sold real estate?
We are Exit Realty. Think smart.
Think Exit.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
And we welcome you back here to the Friday Night End Zone on the Spirit Media Network. We're live from Buffalo Wild Wings here tonight. We've got food. Can I show them the food? Can they see that, Chris? Let's see. I'm going to put it right here in front of the camera. Can they see it? Yeah, look at that.
Grub.
They got it.
Grub. Amazing.
And everything. It's awesome. I'm Jason, the bearded one, Jeff. Tony Bahu just had some pretty good opinions on the Egg Bowl. He's seen quite a few of the Egg Bowls. And so, yeah, we got the grub here. Mia is taking care of us. The folks here at Buffalo Wild Wings are taking care of us. And we had to push some things back. So I think we're ready to go and join Samaria Terry, WJTV 12 Sports. She was at the Egg Bowl last night. We were there with her for the Sports Zone. Samaria joins us now. Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're good. Thanks for joining us. Look, I know this is we're here remotely at Buffalo Wild Wings, and you're flying solo tonight, huh?
I am, unfortunately. So I think my hit time is about 10:24. So
Okay.
I'm waiting on, I have people kind of going all over the place. So I'm waiting on everybody to send me their shot sheets and highlights, and be ready to go.
I see you've got your Auburn blankets there in the background, always representing, huh?
Of course.
That's what I'm talking about.
War Eagle.
So listen, all right, so let's go to last night. Yeah, so see, now I get to ask you some tough questions. How about that?
Oh, okay.
No, I won't do that. I won't do that to you. But I do want to
No,
go back
you
to.
can.
No, I'm not going to do that to you. I'll save it for another day. How about that? So look,
Okay.
we're on the Sports Zone yesterday, and you made a very, very good point. You felt like Mississippi State was finally going to put everything together offensively in a game. And so now you see what they did last night. You called it. Apparently they heard you because it seemed like they put everything together. Kylan Hill had a big night. Schrader looked good. I mean, they were getting offensive production from pretty much everywhere on the field. Did you expect it to come together like that last night?
I did not at all. I mean, remember I asked you, we felt like Ole Miss was playing for Matt Luke. We didn't feel like Mississippi State was playing for Joe Moorhead. I don't know who they were playing for last night, but they were playing for somebody. Because, I mean, they clicked on all cylinders. And I've never seen them that explosive. They came out the gate hot. They were scoring. They were stopping. Plumlee only rushing for, 34 yards?
Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty – and look, as much as we talk about the Mississippi State offense, I felt like their defense, as the game wore on, it was kind of like after the Ely fumble on the opening possession, and Tony Bahu and Jeff and I were just talking about that, how it seemed like it shell-shocked Ole Miss a bit. I don't know if that was just me reading into it that way, but it felt like it kind of shell-shocked them a little bit, and they never quite recovered. And then you combine that with the fact that as the game wore on, Mississippi State just played off that home crowd and became more aggressive and became more confident, and they just fed off that crowd. And when you've got a bunch of freshmen on offense, as Ole Miss did, that's a dangerous spot to be in. Is that kind of how you saw it, the defense last night feeding off the crowd?
Yeah, and I don't think that Plumlee was getting hit a lot yesterday. I think that kind of startled him too. But I think that how I felt it went, Plumlee said, okay, you know what, Rich Rod, I'm going to run your plays first quarter. They're down 14-0. Yeah. Plumlee said, let me take over, after that. And I think that between him and Ely, they rushed and they were able to get down the field and tie up the game. I think that it was a great idea for them to put Matt Corral in there to kind of switch it up. Mississippi State was not ready for that at all. We can tell. Of course, Corral had that interception right at the goal line. And then, I thought it was going to go to overtime, honestly. And then I feel like had it went to overtime with Matt Corral under center, I think Ole Miss would have won.
Really?
Yeah. I think that they were just moving the ball so well down the field. They had stopped Mississippi State. The defense had stopped Mississippi State towards the end of that ball game. So
I just wonder when you look at kind of how the final moments unfolded. And by the way, I hope you get to go back and watch this later because we're going to play a clip that we found on Twitter of Russian television calling the final moments. It's hilarious, by the way. Did you see it?
I did.
That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, by the way. But it kind of unfolded like a tragic yet comical Shakespearean play or something. I mean, it was the final 2 minutes was some of the craziest time that I remember, Jeff remembers, and Tony remembers, and probably you remember in a college football game. I mean, what are you thinking? I mean, we saw each other obviously a lot last night. And what are you thinking as those final moments unfolded in this game? I mean, what was your reaction to it?
You know what? We were joking about it after the game because we were like, oh, Matt Corral was going to have his Jalen Hurts last season moment where Hurts was benched for Tua and then had to come in and be the savior. That's what we were thinking was going to happen. And I think it would have happened. And as soon as I saw Elijah get back on the ground, you could probably hear it in my highlights. I'm like, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no. Mm-mm. Why did you do that? And, of course, he's not the main reason for Ole Miss losing the game, but
I mean, it is funny that because I know that there are two sides of it, and I asked Tony, so I'll ask you. This is the tough question, by the way. I'm just preparing you. There's two sides to it. There's some folks that say, all right, you put your arm around the kid, Elijah Moore. You put your arm around him and say, hey, that's not who you are. There's the grace element. I believe in that. But then there's also the other side that says you got to send a message that that's not who we are. He has to understand that that's not something that you don't ever think about doing that. Because if you look over in Tuscaloosa or on the Plains or down at Red Stick and Baton Rouge, those players don't even think about something like that. I mean, there's no question. So what side of it do you sit on? Because, I mean, there's definitely two ways to look at how you handle that situation with Elijah Moore last night.
You know what? I'm kind of on the fence about it just because I think when I was down there, when I was in Oxford, when they played LSU, I remember Elijah Moore scoring. It was one of the final scores that Ole Miss had. It was Matt Corral threw him the ball. I don't even know how many yards he ran, maybe 40 yards and scored a touchdown. When he was in the end zone, I remember Jerry and Ely running up to him to celebrate with him. Yeah. And Elijah did like this. He shoot him. So that was something that stuck with me. I didn't like that because I know Jerry, and Jerry is always happy. He's such a fun kid.
He is.
And I was just like, why would you not want to celebrate with Jerry? I thought that was so weird. Like, I don't know what his attitude was. So that kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't really like that. So because of that, I have like this bad taste in my mouth about Elijah. So I'm going to be a little bit hard on him because of that.
Well, and two, I mean you look at the fair catch or the attempted fair catch there in the ball game too. I mean, if that had been the worst thing he had done, or the shooing of Ely, if that had been the worst thing he had done, that'd be one thing. You say, all right, man, lose the attitude. You're a team. You win as a team. You lose as a team. I bet he could not have envisioned how his night was going to turn out after he shoot off Ely, after the attempted fair catch. I mean, that was just bizarre in its own right. He just looked off the entire game to me, and I even tweeted, get him off the field. I tweeted that at halftime because he never looked into it, and I tweeted, if you're Ole Miss and you want a chance to win this game, you got to get Elijah Moore off the field. I had no idea that would be prophetic. I mean, he scored the touchdown. He's a talented kid, but like you said, there's something off there. There's something off.
Yeah, it's just the attitude there, or I don't even know if it's a sense of entitlement. I really can't put my finger on it, but I just don't personally like it. And it's like, you shoot off your team against LSU. They were trying to celebrate, and now you're probably looking for your team to comfort you because the world is against you right now.
Right,
so it's kind of funny how that works.
She's Samaria Terry of WJTV 12 Sports. I know you got to get ready for your newscast tonight, so folks, tune over and watch Tamaria tonight on News Channel 12. All right, before I let you go, you're obviously a big Auburn Tiger fan. Jeff here, the bearded one, is a big Alabama fan. So you guys want to do a little smack talk before tomorrow's ball game?
There's no need for smack talk.
You're always talking smack about Alabama.
I am, but there's no need because Alabama's going to take care of business.
Oh,
so
Samaria, don't let him
talk smack.
Don't let him do that. Don't let him get out of here with that. Come on,
First of all,
Samaria.
I don't even know the quarterback's name. Who's the quarterback?
Oh,
Mac.
very nice.
Mac something.
You would know him as
the same
not
person
Tua.
that couldn't even put. Okay.
You would
He
know
didn't
him
even
as
put
not
up a
Tua.
touchdown
Yeah.
against Mississippi State. Okay.
Yeah, true.
I
guess we'll see. You know, we'll
Okay.
see.
I love
That's what rivalry games are all about. Nothing but love, Samaria.
Okay.
I love
wait,
it.
can I share this somewhere? Is this live somewhere?
Yeah, you can find. Yeah, absolutely. We're
Can I share it? I'm going to share it.
You can
Please
share
do.
it. Friday Night End Zone is our Facebook page. Of course, you already know our Twitter feed because you follow us there. Thank you. And of course, we're on YouTube, Spirit Media Network. You could just search for it there and share it. We got a lot of different places you can find us. We try to appeal to the masses. That's what we try to do. So.
Well, I am doing that right now.
Hey, do you have a one more question you got to pick for tomorrow's game?
Yeah.
I mean, I got to get that.
Ooh, you know what? I'm probably not going to have a pick until I see Bo Nix.
Oh.
Opening drive.
Okay.
Because if he's off, oh God, this could be bad.
But you got your defensive
But-
line, though. That's a pretty good defensive line.
We have the D. I think that we're going to be fine defensively, but we just have to score, and we just have just been struggling with that. So I think it's going to be kind of low scoring.
Okay. All right. Hey, thank you
But
for.
I think Auburn's going to win.
There it is. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
I'm biting my tongue.
He's doing well because he runs his mouth about Alabama all the time. So
I mean, Alabama's a good team. So,
they are.
You know, I'm the one over here in a corner,
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, and
Auburn
there's
just
more to the
has
team than
caused a lot
just
of
the
heart
quarterback.
attacks.
So,
that's
you know,
true. That's true.
There's more
That's
to the
true.
team, but and that goes for Auburn too. You know.
Yes.
And I do have the ability to be unbiased, but yeah, I agree with you, Samaria. If Bo Nix comes out, then he sets the pace, he sets the tone, and the team follows. And he's shown that throughout the season. And the big question mark is for Alabama is if Mac Jones is going to be able to do the same thing for Alabama. You know, they'll follow, but you know they've got both teams have a lot of key impact players.
I'm really impressed with him right now. Seriously, giving kudos to Auburn.
It's going to be a
too.
great game. It's going to be a great rivalry game, and I'll be thinking about you, Samaria, when Alabama wins.
Oh. You know he was going to try to get
Where's
it
my
in.
blanket?
Get your blanket.
You'll need it. You'll need it.
Hey, in all seriousness, hey, listen to him. Wow. Whoa. Wow.
Okay, I'll stop.
Firing shots over here.
No, it was fun. And by the way, I really enjoyed being with you guys.
That was
yesterday.
awesome.
What a great set and a great crew and great food. Ooh, that was good. Some good
That was.
food.
That was a lot of fun.
Thank y'all for coming on.
We enjoyed it very much.
We had a blast, and look, you and Noah have quickly become, two of our favorites, without a doubt. And you guys work hard. You do a really good job. You're professional to the nth degree, and appreciate y'all. Hope y'all are in Mississippi for a while, and enjoy your Friday night. We'll be encouraging folks to watch you all weekend. Hope you enjoyed your Friday, and go Tigers. I said it for you. I got to get it in with him. So.
Where you go?
Thanks, Samaria. Have a good weekend.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. That's Samaria Terry with WJTV News Channel 12 Sports, and she does a really, really good job. If you watched her package tonight on the 6 o'clock news, she does a really, really good job. And she's funny. That's the thing about Samaria. I don't know if people understand. She's really, really funny. Yesterday on location at the Sports Zone, I mean, she was cracking some jokes, and she was having fun and
very quick-witted.
Very quick-witted. Noah was jumping off the truck there on set at Mississippi State. So Noah's in Nashville. Shout out to Noah. And two of the most genuine folks.
Absolutely. And Andrew is great, too. Just down to earth. Really down to earth.
The entire crew of WJTV, they were fantastic yesterday, and we had a lot of fun.
And they can cook.
I'll be honest, I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with names. That's awful.
I am too.
But he was awesome. And I said, we're going to hire you to just come cook for something. Next time we have like some sort of Spirit Media Network gathering, you're cooking for us, and we're paying you. And he said, hey, Have food, we'll cook for money. That's how it went. So we're going to step aside and burn a timeout. When we come back, we're scheduled to have Shay Hodge, former Ole Miss wide receiver. He texted me a little bit ago, said it may be a few minutes behind. Tony may jump back on for another segment. Jeff's got some high school scores to give you as well, and we'll give some live scores to you here in just a moment. Let's burn a timeout here. Back in 2 minutes on the Spirit Media Network.
Before digging in my yard, I always call 811 to have my utility lines marked to avoid service interruptions or injury. As CenterPoint Energy says, it's better to call 811 now than 911 later. And if I suspect a gas leak, I leave the area immediately on foot and call CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe, remote location. Really?
CenterPoint Energy invests in its infrastructure to help keep you safe. CenterPoint Energy. Always there.
Like hunting or fishing, Van Sporting Goods is a tradition that's been passed down through the generations. Since 1992, Mississippi's hunters have come to Vans to gear up for their favorite seasons. And this season is no different. You can't miss with the Loophole Optics. And find the perfect fit for the largest gun selection in Mississippi, featuring Browning, Benelli, Winchester, and more, plus accessories that take your outings to the next level. Van Sporting Goods, a name you know as well as your own.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCE, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi community colleges. The MNCE provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCE is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCE and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
A smile is one of the first things most people notice. And for over a decade, Germany Dental has helped change smiles for thousands of people across Mississippi.
I was so embarrassed about my teeth that I never smiled. But now that I have dental implants and cosmetic veneers from Germany Dental, I can't stop smiling. My decision to see Dr. Germany literally changed my life.
Germany Dental, changing lives, one smile at a time. Call 601-825-4746 today.
Your man cave is a lie. It's not a masculine refuge. It's a basement in your wife's house. Caves don't have frilly craft store signs. Yell about it. In your man cave, no one can hear you scream. Wake up! Head upstairs and get to B-dubs, where the kegerators are just called taps, the wall color is TVs, and the wings taste like freedom. Also, your friends actually like coming here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
We're having a sale at Patty Peck on the brand new Honda Accord LX, and the Honda Pilot is also sweet, just $289 a month when you lease, and the value package is super hot. Make your way to Patty Peck and get a free car wash. Get a lifetime powertrain warranty with your new Honda purchase.
Break it down, Rita B.
I said P-A-T-T-Y. Patty Peck, Honda's #1. I said P-A-T-T-Y. Shop now at pattypeckhonda.com.
Need your business to stand out and pop? Then it's time to visit Polshap's Screen Print and Embroidery in Brandon. Polshaps can custom design your marketing campaigns with custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional materials that set you apart from the competition. Speaking of setting apart, Polshaps does all their work in-house from start to finish. No outsourcing, meaning faster turnaround time and lower prices for you, the customer. Visit Polshaps.com to find out more and get started on standing out.
Can't figure out where to stop for lunch or dinner? That's easy. Abner's of Brandon, famous chicken tenders, will hit the spot for you and your family. Abner's famous chicken tenders are unique because the fresh chicken is marinated and battered in Abner's own special recipe batter, and then served with Abner's own special dipping sauces. You'll always get fresh chicken tenders, never frozen, and it's all made from scratch. Abner's of Brandon, located at 1480 West Government Street in Brandon. Like us on Facebook for updates and store information.
With 2 boys, I know about suspicious odors.
But CenterPoint Energy taught me something important. If I smell rotten eggs, it might be a gas leak. I should leave on foot immediately and call both CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe location. I also never store flammables like paint or gasoline near my natural gas appliances. One spark is all it takes to ignite fumes.
CenterPoint Energy provides tips to help you keep your family safe. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCE, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi community colleges. The MNCE provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCE is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCE and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
Hey, we welcome you back here to Buffalo Wild Wings, live in Flowood. Glad that you're with us here. Friday Night End Zone. I'm Jason. He's Jeff. Chris Bragg. Can we brag on Chris?
Let's brag a little bit
on Christopher
Chris.
Bragg. Can we brag on Christopher Bragg? He's blushing. Let's don't do that. Tony Bahu's here. Newman. Kazari's here. We're all hanging out here at Buffalo Wild Wings having a good time. I'm having a good time.
I'm having a good time. I'm having a great time. Great food, great atmosphere.
You go turn around and show them? That'd be cool. Got to give a shout out to the managers here, Brent, Centel, and everybody here. It was real busy earlier, like super busy, and still a lot of people in here. And this is just a fun place to come and hang out. I mean, in all reality, it's just fun to come and chill out here. And shout out to Jason Hall.
Thank you, Jason
Hall. Buffalo Wild Wings, and Miss Tia. And, we definitely have to try to get one of the managers on before we get out of here tonight. All right, so high school football scores.
Our bread and butter.
I'll let Jeff read through the scores, and then I'll tell you who the matchups are according to our friend Brandon Shields. How about that? The championship game matchups. Want to do that? Or you already got them?
I've already got them.
Who needs Brandon Shields? We got the bearded one.
All right, so let's start with what do you want to start at the top or the
Let's start with
bottom?
1A. Let's go 1A and then just work our way
All
up.
right, let's build up. So in 1A, you will Knox Pater faced Nanawaya. Big rivalry.
Yeah.
Across creek rivalries,
That's
as
right.
my friend Randall Orr says.
That's right.
Nanawaya comes out 21-20.
That's right.
And Lumberton was facing Richton. Lumberton comes out big, 55-7. So the championship game will be Nanawaya versus Lumberton.
Yeah.
2A, we've got Taylorsville and Scott Central. Taylorsville comes out on top 14-6.
Oh.
Northside and Charleston. Northside comes out 14-6.
Really?
Ironically.
Okay.
So it'll be Taylorsville against Northside. In 3A, Noxubee County and Choctaw County. Noxubee County 33, Choctaw County 14.
Okay.
Jefferson Davis versus Columbia.
Go Wildcats.
Jefferson Davis 27-7.
What? Columbia lost?
Yep. It's going to be Noxubee County versus Jefferson Davis.
First loss of the season, by the way.
And it was big.
Oh, my gosh. I really thought Columbia was going to win the whole thing. They were stacked.
I picked them, too.
Yeah.
I sure did.
I'm shocked at that.
They were rolling all season long.
Because they had no issue with JDC earlier in the year. No issue.
Yeah, they came up quite short tonight, unfortunately.
Wow.
In 4A, we had Poplarville versus Lawrence County. Poplarville, 38-14. We had Corinth and Greenwood. Corinth 31-14. So it'll be Poplarville versus Corinth for the state championship in 4A.
Wow.
5A, West Point versus Neshoba Central.
We saw Neshoba Central earlier this year.
Sure did, and it was a great game. West Point actually comes out on top 20-7.
Coach Chambliss does it again.
Picayune West Jones.
Now, that was a game coming back from Petal last week. You and I said, we might need to give that one a look-see.
Yeah.
And we thought about it. We flirted with it for a second.
We did.
And
Kevin and I were talking about it last night as well.
That's right, yeah.
Picayune comes out on top 49-14.
Oh, it wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close.
That's West Jones' first loss of the season, too.
Well, the hits keep on coming.
Oh, really?
Here comes 6A.
Oh, the Little Egg Bowl.
The Little Egg Bowl. Oxford versus Starkville.
Yeah.
Oxford comes out on top 25-16.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah, Oxford needs a little redemption this morning or tonight.
They needed that. Okay.
Wow.
And the game that you and I were looking forward to this week, Oak Grove versus Petal.
Do tell.
Apparently it was back and forth, and there were some mixed plays, but we had 35-28 Oak Grove.
35-28?
35-28 Oak Grove.
The Warriors win.
Yeah, so it'll be Oxford and Oak Grove in the 6A state championship game.
Wow.
Who would have thought?
So let me chew on this for a second, because here's the thing. Drew Causey, who I think a lot of, he's the Oak Grove head coach.
Right.
And last year he led the Warriors. You know, they were going up against Horn Lake, and Horn Lake, and that was a team that was just destined last year.
Yeah.
You know, and Horn Lake had been building towards a season like that for a really long time. So I don't think anybody's beaten Horn Lake last year. All right. So but he still gets Oak Grove there. And then you come into this year, everybody's talking about Petal, and rightfully so.
Yes.
Shout out to Marcus Bowles, great season with those kids. We love the folks down at Petal, by the way. Always treat us great. Coach Marcus Bowles, fantastic job down there. Sal Panola out of the north, Madison Central out of the north. I mean, we really, I don't know, and nobody was talking about Oak Grove.
Right.
Then they go into Bulldog Stadium and beat Brandon. I felt like after that, the antenna went up.
Yes.
The radar went up about this is an Oak Grove team that's for real.
Potential. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have some. Well, I think people started paying more attention to them possibly after that.
Sure.
That this team, you know, we got to give credit to Drew Causey a little bit here. I mean, he's a heck of a coach.
Yeah.
And so now Oak Grove is headed to back-to-back 6A championship games. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
incredible.
Impressive. It's impressive.
Dave Green from Facebook, how about them Corinth Warriors? Hey, Dave, hope you're doing well, brother.
Appreciate you watching.
Yeah, man. And see, here's the other thing. Oak Grove, you know, that's a program that I'm just a little shell-shocked. I'm a little speechless because nobody's talking about Oak Grove. This is a program that when they made the switch from Neville Barr, and Drew Causey gets the job. Neville Barr retires. They didn't make a switch. He retired. And then Drew takes over, and all he's done there is defy the odds. Think about it. Now, Neville Barr was a coaching legend. Still is. And I don't know if people have really given Drew Causey the credit that he deserves. I'll be honest with you.
Well, and he built the confidence in his players, and they obviously took that to heart and kept playing hard. And with the big win against Brandon, you know, that just built up more momentum as far as courage and confidence is concerned. And, you know, they were able to build on that as the season continued. And here they came into Petal, a very hard place to play, on a tough Petal team. And they were able to outlast them. My understanding, as I read through Twitter during one of the earlier segments, I was checking scores, and it was very back and forth.
Yeah.
I think there was a snap over the head of the quarterback and a scramble, and I mean, it sounded like it was a very exciting game.
Mm-hmm.
But Oak Grove comes out on top, so they're going to battle Oxford for the state championship in 6A.
That's crazy. Congrats to all the teams on a great season. Of course, this is our final show. I'm not going to say a football season. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say it's our final Friday night production as you've come to expect it for football season. How about that?
It's very mysterious.
Is that, well, you know, I mean, we're not
Sounds good.
We're not quite done yet. I mean,
I'm game.
We kind of are, but we're kind of not.
There's state championship weekend.
There's state championship weekend. There's a little bit of we'll see. And then, of course, you've got Mississippi State going bowling.
Yeah.
So you can see us covering that bowl game as well. National championship game is in New Orleans this year.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say on that.
Okay.
That's a good time to burn a timeout, isn't it?
Let's do that.
When we come back, we're going to connect, hopefully, with Mr. Shea Hodge, former Ole Miss wide receiver. And, of course, we're still going to talk about a little college football playoff. Who's in, who's out, who deserves to be there. We'll talk about it as we roll on. What's that?
Good stuff.
It's always good stuff. Friday Night End Zone on the Spirit Media Network.
What if you really could have it all?
At Exit Realty,
We believe in making dreams
come true.
We believe
We believe the home you want
is right there.
is right there.
And we'll help you find it.
Thoroughly trained, passionately committed
And always on your side. You can count on us.
every step of the way. And you thought we just sold real estate.
We are Exit Realty.
Think smart.
Think Exit.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
With 2 boys, I know about suspicious odors.
But CenterPoint Energy taught me something important. If I smell rotten eggs, it might be a gas leak. I should leave on foot immediately and call both CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe location. I also never store flammables like paint or gasoline near my natural gas appliances. One spark is all it takes to ignite fumes.
CenterPoint Energy provides tips to help you keep your family safe. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
Like hunting or fishing, Van Sporting Goods is a tradition that's been passed down through the generations. Since 1992, Mississippi's hunters have come to Vans to gear up for their favorite seasons. And this season is no different. You can't miss with the Loophole Optics. And find the perfect fit for the largest gun selection in Mississippi, featuring Browning, Benelli, Winchester, and more, plus accessories that take your outings to the next level. Van Sporting Goods, a name you know as well as your own.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
Need your business to stand out and pop? Then it's time to visit Polshap's Screen Print and Embroidery in Brandon. Polshaps can custom design your marketing campaigns with custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional materials that set you apart from the competition. Speaking of setting apart, Polshaps does all their work in-house from start to finish. No outsourcing, meaning faster turnaround time and lower prices for you, the customer. Visit Polshaps.com to find out more and get started on standing out.
Can't figure out where to stop for lunch or dinner? That's easy. Abner's of Brandon, famous chicken tenders, will hit the spot for you and your family. Abner's famous chicken tenders are unique because the fresh chicken is marinated and battered in Abner's own special recipe batter, and then served with Abner's own special dipping sauces. You'll always get fresh chicken tenders, never frozen, and it's all made from scratch. Abner's of Brandon, located at 1480 West Government Street in Brandon. Like us on Facebook for updates and store information.
With 2 boys, I know about suspicious odors.
But CenterPoint Energy taught me something important. If I smell rotten eggs, it might be a gas leak. I should leave on foot immediately and call both CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe location. I also never store flammables like paint or gasoline near my natural gas appliances. One spark is all it takes to ignite fumes.
CenterPoint Energy provides tips to help you keep your family safe. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
Need your business to stand out and pop? Then it's time to visit Polshap's Screen Print and Embroidery in Brandon. Polshap's can custom design your marketing campaigns with custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional materials that set you apart from the competition. Speaking of setting apart, Polshap's does all their work in-house from start to finish. No outsourcing, meaning faster turnaround time and lower prices for you, the customer. Visit Polshaps.com to find out more and get started on standing out.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
Like hunting or fishing, Van Sporting Goods is a tradition that's been passed down through the generations. Since 1992, Mississippi's hunters have come to Vans to gear up for their favorite seasons. And this season is no different. You can't miss with the Loophole Optics. And find the perfect fit for the largest gun selection in Mississippi, featuring Browning, Benelli, Winchester, and more, plus accessories that take your outings to the next level. Van Sporting Goods, a name you know as well as your own.
What if you really could have it all?
At Exit Realty,
We believe in making dreams
come true.
We believe
We believe the home you want
is right there.
is right there.
And we'll help you find it.
Thoroughly trained, passionately committed
And always on your side. You can count on us.
every step of the way. And you thought we just sold real estate.
We are Exit Realty. Think smart.
Think Exit.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
And we welcome you back here to Buffalo Wild Wings, live from Flowood. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I'm Jason. That's the bearded one, Jeff. This is Mr. Bahu, the legend. You hate it when I do that. He doesn't care. All right, so college football, the college football playoff, and this is a topic I wanted both these guys in here to talk about because Jeff's got the top 9. We wanted to talk about who's in the top 9, who they play this weekend, and just kind of give our opinion on what the college football playoff should look like. Because strength of schedule, I'll start with you. You know, this is something that he and I talk about.
Sure.
If strength of schedule is supposed to play a part in who's here in
Right.
the top 5, top 4, top 10, whatever, if it's supposed to play a part in who gets into this ranking, some of these teams, would you agree, they're not sniffing the top 10, top 9?
I mean, it's all subjective, though.
That's right.
I mean, you know, Minnesota played who Minnesota's played. If they
Right.
beat Wisconsin, they've beaten 2 top teams in the, Big Ten. I mean, Wisconsin and Penn State. You know, they lost a tough one, on the road to Iowa. I mean, so can you fault them? Iowa's a decent team. Would they be, there were, I don't know, they're like Florida. I mean, Iowa's like a Florida team. I mean, are they good? Are they great? No, but I mean, they're a decent Big Ten team. I mean, so and especially on the road, it's tough. So, I mean, Baylor, same thing. They had that game won against Oklahoma.
Yeah,
they're going to get a rematch. So, Baylor plays Baylor's schedule, and if they go 11-1 or 12-1, and they win the Big 12, I mean, you got to kind of give them a shot at it.
I would like to see a team like a Baylor or Minnesota kind of upset the apple cart, so to speak.
A little bit,
I mean,
yeah.
I'd rather see them than a Clemson or Ohio State. Now, granted, my dad was a big Ohio State fan, and we lived in Ohio for a while, so I was kind of raised a little bit of a Buckeye fan. But regardless, looking at it unbiasedly, they haven't played a whole lot of tough games. Now, they've played enough, but I think the reason they're number one is brand. Jason and I have talked about that a few times. It's the branding.
Well, all of them are brand. All these guys are brand. I mean,
Clemson's
these
the same
are
way.
all except for Utah, Minnesota, and Baylor. Those are the Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, LSU, Ohio State are all brand recognition ones. And Ohio State's undefeated, so you got to put them. I mean, you have not lost a game. They beat a good, solid Cincinnati team.
Okay.
They beat Penn State. They're going to play a really tough Michigan team, and then they're going to play the winner of Wisconsin and Minnesota.
See, there you go. That's it.
Did you say that with a straight face,
What?
that they're playing a really tough Michigan team?
Okay, Michigan, again, is like a Florida.
Well.
Or an Auburn. Is Auburn any better than Michigan?
Yes.
I mean, really?
Yes.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do know that.
I would
Why?
say
their defensive line.
Okay, what?
Alone, their defensive line alone is better
All right,
than
but
Michigan's defensive line last year
Shea
was
Patterson,
better.
even though as bad of a quarterback, he's better than Bo Nix.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, they have better skill positions on the wide
Bo's a
receiver
true
side.
freshman, too. But I'll give you Penn State, and I'll even give you Michigan. But other than that, no. Look at Clemson.
Cincinnati's going to win the A. Well, I don't know if they've beaten Memphis today, but I mean, it was a competitive game. There was a competitive game with the AAC. So, I mean,
But see, with Clemson and the ACC, the what do we call it? The Associated Community College League. I mean, it's just there's no real competition for Clemson.
Okay, but again,
they're undefeated. They won it last year. They're undefeated. I get it. So yeah, they're there. But
I think Tony's rule has always been, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can't help who your competition is. Is that kind of where the standpoint comes from?
Except for that's what hurts Alabama. They couldn't help that Duke wasn't as good as they were.
Yeah.
Now, they played the rest of their schedule. They've gone undefeated except for the LSU game. Mm-hmm. They're probably going to win on the road against Auburn, and then they're going to sit back and see what happens. If mayhem happens, they'll get in. If it doesn't, then they're out, and they can't blame anybody but themselves. I mean, again, if Ohio State, LSU, and Clemson run the table, then you're battling with those other, 5 teams, and you got to give them credit. I mean, bottom line is, I'd like to see Utah run the table. Has Utah really beat anybody?
That would be
Not
fun.
really.
No.
But I mean, it would at least change it up a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
I really
want
for
chaos. I'd love Minnesota to run the table.
Me too.
Beat Wisconsin, beat Ohio State.
Yep.
Have Virginia magically upset Clemson. And I don't even know if Clemson, if they lose, would they be out? But I'd like to have a whole bunch of one-loss teams, except for maybe LSU, and let's see what happens. And then let chaos reign.
So before I let you go, your top 4 right now. I mean, here's the top 4 right now: Ohio State 1, LSU 2, Clemson 3, Georgia 4, Bama's hanging back at 5, Utah, Tony just talked about wanting to run the table. They're at 6, Oklahoma's at 7, Minnesota at 8, Baylor's at 9. What is your top 4 right now? Does it change from this right here?
It'd be LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, and I probably would put Alabama in just a smidge over Georgia.
Really?
I think Georgia's loss to South Carolina at home was worse than Alabama's loss.
I'd
if
agree
you
with
just want
that.
to do that.
Yep. I agree
If
with
you
that.
just look at apples to apples, player-wise. Now, granted, without Tua, I don't think actually Alabama is a top 4 team. But I put them there on record, and if they somehow win at Auburn, well, maybe they do then earn that ranking. But, I would say Alabama is a skosh less than what Georgia is right now. But I would still give them – I would flip those 2 right now going into the Auburn game.
Mine would be LSU 1, Ohio State 2. Probably keep Clemson at 3. And I would sneak Utah in at 4. I would because it's something different. It's a different program. It's fresh.
Sure.
It's kind of different. I mean, not that Utah is unaccustomed to winning. They're not.
No.
But
they beat Alabama in a Sugar Bowl
before.
before.
Right. So that'd be my top 4. Who would your top 4 be?
Okay, I'm going to go after these games. We're talking about after these games.
I mean, just right now.
Right now?
Yeah. Does it change from
you don't know what's going to happen in these games.
This, right.
No idea.
Right now, I'm going to go Ohio State, LSU, Georgia, and then Alabama.
You're going to leave Clemson out, even though they beat everybody out there?
Yeah, I would. Again, because it's the community college league. They really don't play anybody, and I think it's all branding. I think last year
They've blown out teams, though, except
but it's easy
North
to blow
Carolina.
out weak teams.
Well, is it, though? I mean,
it is.
Does
I don't think
Alabama – hold
Lawrence
on.
has done a great
Alabama
job.
didn't blow out everybody.
No.
They played a whole bunch of weak teams.
But they played a whole bunch of tough teams, too. But I agree with you, Tony. I agree with you. Alabama.
No. Who did Alabama play that was tough outside of LSU?
Well, then I stand corrected. Not a whole bunch of tough teams.
I mean, Tennessee's not that tough.
But I'll say on the flip side, if you're going to look at Alabama and you look at their schedule and say, all right, who have they played that's really that tough? Could you not make the same argument for, say, Clemson or even – I would even say Ohio State, really. I mean, Penn State. I mean, how good really is
in
Penn State? How really good? I mean, how good are they really?
I mean, I think Penn State is an Auburn.
They're
a two-loss team.
I agree.
They lost to a tough team
I'll give you
in
that,
Minnesota on the road.
Okay.
They lost a close game at Ohio State. So their 2 losses are on the road. I mean, Auburn had to go and lose to LSU. They had to go and lose to Florida, and they lost to Georgia at home. But, I mean, those are their 3 losses. Texas A&M, same thing. On the road, one at home. So, I mean, Penn State's a good team. They're not a great team, but they're like a Florida or an Auburn.
I'd like to see Utah win out, and I'm really interested to see what happens with the championship weekend.
Sure.
I think if LSU beats Georgia, I think Georgia's out.
For sure.
And I think if Michigan can pull off the upset. It's at Michigan. It's during the day.
Sure.
If that happens, I think Ohio State comes down, and that fits room for Utah and Alabama potentially.
Right.
I would like to see Utah, even if it does take advantage or take over my Alabama Crimson Tide spot. I'd like to see it shake up a little bit. I'm like the rest of America, getting tired of seeing the same 4 go every single year, and based on a lot of branding and some weak schedules or questionable schedules. But yeah, I'd like to see a shakeup.
I would just say this. First of all, you said that about Michigan. Harbaugh, no, that's not. Ohio State's going to win by 4 scores. I really believe it. I do.
Wow.
I think Michigan is the most overrated collegiate program in just ever. I mean, I do.
Even over Notre Dame.
Just
because I know how you feel.
Notre
about Notre
Dame's 1B. How about that? Notre Dame's 1B. How about that? Who's your most overrated?
I mean,
program?
Right now in the last 10 years, that's probably accurate. I mean, he should have done more with the time he's had there. Mm-hmm. You know, he has recruited nationally. They have not lived up to par. He has not brought an innovative offense to that. And, you know, that's on him. But, yeah, I mean, Notre Dame, Michigan are 2 of the more overrated teams, you know, going into it. I think Florida State, before they fell off the, you know, proverbial wagon, can be overrated. I think Texas is overrated. So those teams should be better than they are, and it just hasn't happened for those coaches and that fan base. But so yeah, I agree.
He's Tony Bahu, the one and the only.
Yeah.
Before you go, seriously, you've done some of the games with us this year, the game of the week. And so you've contributed as much as this. I mean, you've been a part of it.
A couple weeks.
I mean, no. I mean, but seriously, I mean, we've talked just about every week.
Sure.
Thanks for being a part of it this year.
No.
Seriously, I mean, in whatever capacity. Thanks for being a part of it. Of course, we've got the finals set now. I don't know if Jeff showed you that.
I turned it over to see. I'd
Yeah.
like to know
Who I like?
your picks. Who you like
in
for
these
this
championship
next
games.
All right. So I mean, I love that 5A matchup. West Point ran the table last year, was probably the best team in the state. Picayune has played the best ball of anybody in the state this year.
They really have.
It's a storybook year. The games are all going to be in Hattiesburg. I like the Southern teams this year.
Yeah.
I like Oxford, or I like Oak Grove over Oxford. I like Picayune over West Point. Poplarville, again, from that Pine Belt area over Corinth. I like Columbia's close. I mean, there is a lot of Hattiesburg,
There
Pine
really
Belt.
are. Yeah.
Taylorsville is going to have a
Lumberton?
and Lumberton too. I mean,
Right.
I like all the home teams. For whatever reason, it just jives this year. Yeah, at Southern Miss. I mean, not all of them are going to win.
Yeah.
But I would favor all of them because they're all quality teams in the South. But I love that Picayune West Point game. That's going to be the game of the weekend.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for
You
being
got
a
it.
part of this year and coming out and hanging out. And Tony has let us use some of his gear this year as well. So he's helped us out in more ways than just doing ball games. And he's just a friend that
I love football. I love talking about it.
Well, you know the business inside and out.
Sure.
So Tony's, he's kind of like that buddy that you have that says, "Hey man, try this," and it ends up working out. So we appreciate Tony for being a part of
You guys
the
are just only going to grow. The
Well,
technology has gotten a lot better. The way you guys broadcast games. Year 1, just learning. Year 2
Yeah.
and 3, man. If you all stick with it, I think it's going to be really taking off.
It's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Yep,
Thanks for
absolutely.
coming out
You got
tonight,
it.
man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
it. He's Tony Bahu. We're going to take
Appreciate
a break
it.
and come back. Shay Hodge is going to join us next, former Ole Miss wide receiver. He's got some opinions on the Elijah Moore situation last night. We'll talk to him next in 2 minutes here on the Spirit Media Network.
Before digging in my yard, I always call 811 to have my utility lines marked. To avoid service interruptions or injury. As CenterPoint Energy says, it's better to call 811 now than 911 later. And if I suspect a gas leak, I leave the area immediately on foot and call CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe, remote location. Really?
CenterPoint Energy invests in its infrastructure to help keep you safe. CenterPoint Energy. Always there.
Like hunting or fishing, Van Sporting Goods is a tradition that's been passed down through the generations. Since 1992, Mississippi's hunters have come to Vans to gear up for their favorite seasons. And this season is no different. You can't miss with the Loophole Optics. And find the perfect fit for the largest gun selection in Mississippi, featuring Browning, Benelli, Winchester, and more, plus accessories that take your outings to the next level. Van Sporting Goods, a name you know as well as your own.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCE, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi community colleges. The MNCE provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCE is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCE and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
A smile is one of the first things most people notice. And for over a decade, Germany Dental has helped change smiles for thousands of people across Mississippi.
I was so embarrassed about my teeth that I never smiled. But now that I have dental implants and cosmetic veneers from Germany Dental, I can't stop smiling. My decision to see Dr. Germany literally changed my life.
Germany Dental, changing lives, one smile at a time. Call 601-825-4746 today.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
Before digging in my yard, I always call 811 to have my utility lines marked, to avoid service interruptions or injury. As CenterPoint Energy says, it's better to call 811 now than 911 later. And if I suspect a gas leak, I leave the area immediately on foot and call CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe, remote location. Really?
CenterPoint Energy invests in its infrastructure to help keep you safe. CenterPoint Energy. Always there.
Like hunting or fishing, Van Sporting Goods is a tradition that's been passed down through the generations. Since 1992, Mississippi's hunters have come to Vans to gear up for their favorite seasons. And this season is no different. You can't miss with the Loophole Optics. And find the perfect fit for the largest gun selection in Mississippi, featuring Browning, Benelli, Winchester, and more, plus accessories that take your outings to the next level. Van Sporting Goods, a name you know as well as your own.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCE, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi Community Colleges. The MNCE provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCE is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCE and career and technical education programs that lead to national certification.
And we welcome you back here to Buffalo Wild Wings, live from Flowood. Shout out to the staff here doing a phenomenal job. I'm Jason Scarborough. Jeff Ead is here. Thanks to Tony Bahu joining us moments ago, and we appreciate him so much. And, he's got a wealth of knowledge, been covering sports for a long time here in Mississippi, and we appreciate his contribution to really what we've done this year. He's loaned us some of his gear, I'm just going to be honest with you, and he's been phenomenal helping us out with a lot of different ideas and whatnot. So we appreciate him. And now we're so pleased now to be joined by former Ole Miss wide receiver. I just call him the legend. That's who he is. He's Shay Hodge. He joins us now remotely. Shay, how are you this evening?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about you?
We're doing good, man. We're good, man. We're cozied up here in Buffalo Wild Wings. We've got wings. We've got sweet tea. We've got everything on camera here. By the way, you're on screen here in Buffalo Wild Wings, just FYI. So we're having a good time here in Buffalo Wild Wings, and I appreciate you joining us. So, all right, so last night, I want to talk about the game first. You played in these Egg Bowls. If anybody knows how important this game is, the intensity of this game, you understand it. What's your reaction? We'll get to the Elijah Moore thing in just a second, but just the game overall, what was your reaction to it?
I think it was a great game, man. It came down exactly what I thought it would be, like a 1-point, 3-point game, a lot of emotion. Guys played really hard, man. And I was very pleased with the game.
Now, when you look at how the game played out, Mississippi State had a plan for John Rice Plumlee, apparently. Of course, Ole Miss going with 2 quarterbacks and nearly pulled it off. When you look at how Ole Miss played, 3 turnovers, still having a chance to send the game into overtime. Were you happy being a former Rebel and seeing just a team with a lot of freshmen out there, still making mistakes, but, hey, still pulling it together there in the second half and having a chance to either tie the game or win it with a 2-point conversion?
Oh, for sure. You got to be happy about that. It reminds me of when we played 2006, all those freshmen we had to play also. And just knowing you have to live with the lumps and bruises of just being young and inexperienced. So I was very proud. And once it got to the fourth quarter and how we drove down at the end, man, I was ecstatic. Just couldn't pull it out, man. It could come with you.
So, all right, let's talk about the Elijah Moore incident. Okay, so you've been on many a sideline. Now, of course, you're head football coach at Hillcrest Christian, but of course, in your days at Morton, now your days at Ole Miss, you've been around football for a long time. Been on the sideline quite a bit. You've been in the trenches, so to speak. You've been in the locker room, many a locker room. So, for Elijah Moore, what happened last night? I'll first ask, what was your reaction when you saw it?
I was pretty mad, but not at the kid. You make mistakes. You're young, still. You're a young man. Emotions got the best of him. That's the number one thing I talk about when a rivalry game, any game, really. You just control your emotions. He had 2 catches that he possibly thought he should have made, and on that one we made the play. I think that's what ultimately made him want to do that gesture at the end. It cost us, but you live and you learn, man. He's still a young player also. I think he was a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, or maybe a junior. He's still a young player. He wasn't a senior doing that. So, you got to take the lumps and bruises as they come. I'm still proud of him, and the guy is a great player.
Yeah, Shay, this is Jeff, and I'd like to talk to you about the rivalry factor. We were talking about it earlier. Ole Miss was favored to come in and just dominate this game, and we've talked about other teams that are in the same situation. But with rivalry weekend upon us, tell us about what it's like having that extra factor. It's almost like that 12th man, especially at Mississippi State, with the sound of the crowd, but the sound of the cowbells too. And I was watching ESPN how they talked about running a speaker on a golf cart all around Plumlee with the sound of cowbells ringing, just so he could kind of get used to it, and he was sick of it before he even got there. But tell us about what it's like as that extra factor to a game.
Oh, for sure. Those guys have a big time home team advantage. Those Cowbells are crazy, and no matter what in that game, you just throw the records, anything out the window.
Yeah.
The home team, you might well put them up by like 7 or 10 points, no matter if we're at home or if they're at home. It reminds me of my senior year. We came in, I think it was like 9-2, and they ended up beating us by 20. And definitely the crowd played a factor. They have a 12th man there, and have a great home atmosphere, man. I really like that about Starkville, to say a positive about them.
That's very honorable for you to speak positively about them. I must add.
It's hard, man. Kids over there.
That's great.
I've coached and trained. So, and I like Coach Moorhead, but like I told him when I texted him today, I said, Coach, it's the only game I couldn't cheer for you. I'm glad I'm happy for you to get the win, but I'm letting you know I wasn't cheering for you.
So who are some of your picks for this weekend's rivalry weekend? Who you got coming up? Like Ohio State, Michigan, and Auburn, Alabama, and all that.
Refresh me. I know Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the upset with Auburn, Alabama.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Somewhere.
I think they're gonna do it, man. Those guys are great on defense. I think they'll slow Alabama down for one.
Okay. All right.
With that front, but hopefully they get up early to make my pick sound like it's going to be true.
Yeah.
A running team basically.
Okay.
Update me on some more on rivalry.
All right. So you got Ohio State, Michigan.
I honestly hope I'm pulling for LSU. Obviously, Coach O. I love Coach O, man, and what he's doing and how he's changed, how he is. And,
No. Ohio State and Michigan. Ohio State, Michigan. Buckeyes.
Right. So I'm going to it. Hold on.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I expect the lose to knock LSU back up to 1.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm pulling for Coach O big time, man. It's like that's a redemption story to me right there.
Gotcha. All right. You got Clemson, South Carolina. A lot of people were talking about this should be just a shoe-in for Clemson, but South Carolina was able to upset Georgia, and it is a rivalry game. So there is some talk of South Carolina trying to pull one out at the end of the season. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, that's tough. That's tough. They sure did beat Georgia, and a lot of people not talking about that. Just to add on to that point, they saying Alabama got one loss. They had a one loss to a number one team.
Yeah.
Georgia was in the story with with the top 4 at one point. If they is, maybe they 5-4, whatever it is, they got
Yeah.
a really big loss to South Carolina. So people not talking about that. So I think Clemson going to pull that one out. I think that's a very well coached team. They got a lot of talent. They're always in the top 5 in recruiting.
Yeah.
So I think they will get it done, man. Overall on that game right there.
All right, the last one I'm going to ask you is the SEC championship game, LSU Georgia. Who wins?
I'm going LSU, man. I think that offense is unstoppable.
Wow.
LSU all the way, apparently, right?
All the way, man.
Okay.
I think this is a year to get it done. Pulling for Coach O, man, my former coach, who gave me a chance to bleed and look a guy from Moore, Mississippi, small town. So, I told him about that.
Very honorable, bud. That's awesome.
So the coordinator. Let me finish. The coordinator, I'm loving what he's doing, man. I love people that offensive minded. Obviously, I'm a receiver, so I love offensive minded guys. And then I think they'll pick it up on defense. I think they'll start stopping people more instead of when they get up and then they kind of let people just linger around getting big gains all the time. I think they'll screw that up in the end.
So you have a kind of an unusual view of this game of football, or one that's very rare. I mean, folks, they'll play in high school. They may play a little bit in college, and then that's it. You played, of course, at Morton. Then you played at Ole Miss, and you still hold several of the records there in the top 10 of many of the categories. They're top 5 of some of them, and now you're a head football coach. You get to see the other side of it. That's why I thought your perspective on the Elijah Moore situation. That's one reason we wanted to have you on, obviously, talk about the game. But you have a unique perspective because now you're getting to see it from both sides, of course. Now you've been in the coaching ranks for a couple years now, and so now you get to see it from both sides as a former player. Now you get to see it as a head coach. How unique has that been to kind of have to put the glasses on or the lens and see things through the eyes of a coach?
Yeah, that's the reason why I gave that perspective with Elijah. He's not a kid that gets in trouble. He's not a kid that does anything like that, like repeatedly. So you kind of take his mistake a little bit different from from a coaching perspective. He's a kid that constantly getting in trouble, I'll have a whole other idea on that situation. So, and me knowing Elijah personally, how he works hard, how he doesn't, I've never heard a bad story about the guy. And I love the work that he puts in. So that's why, from a coaching standpoint, you love those type of players, man. You love on them. You really love on them because they don't come around a whole lot, especially not in high school, dealing with kids with bad attitudes, single parent homes and just everything that comes along with it, it's just a little different. It's just according to what does that player always do. And that will make you react in certain situations.
I think it's so unique, and I've always been a fan of yours. You know that, and I still remember our first interview several years ago at this point, and just been a big fan of you. I've been rooting for you, man, and I enjoyed our conversation today, and I still remember, and I got to tell Jeff this. I've had the chance to talk to Shay several times now over the years. I will never forget where I was watching Ole Miss play at the Swamp in Florida against Tim Tebow, who we, by the way, just met a couple of weeks ago. We'll share some more on that later. And I almost brought that up to him. I was like, nah, I probably don't need to do that. But I will never forget where I was when Shay Hodge, was it 86 yards? How long was that touchdown catch? Was it 90?
86.
86. See, there you go.
Good memory.
That's crazy that I remember that. So I remember where I was when that happened. I mean, take us – I know I'm kind of going backwards here. But I got to ask you, what's going through your mind when you see all that grass in front of you in the swamp? It went from just this loud, almost like a jet engine was right on top of you guys. That's how loud it was, to all of a sudden just quiet when you waltzed into the end zone. I mean, what's going through your mind in that moment?
I would like to get a perspective. Have you ever played a game like a race?
Like what now? Oh, did we lose him? Oh, the connection. There we go. Now we got him. We got you now, Shay. Yeah, we got you now. Have we ever played a game that does what now?
That let you go in first-person view. Like, I don't know if you guys ever played Cruising the World.
Yeah.
Like that game. Put it in first-person view. and like you just run. Like I catch the ball, I get that wide open. The safety didn't get the width that he needed, and I catch it, and then I just think of like the first person view in a race car game. I'm just running, and I'm like, I don't see nobody. And I'm like, whoa. It was like a dream come true because as a kid you always making plays like that. It was crazy and how it just got silent, and I was like, man, I really did this. Like I really did this in the swamp. Somebody watched growing up, people playing in the swamp, against big time teams. They were ranked, I think, number 4 in the nation. So I was like, man, it's a dream come true. And then to add on, it was my daughter's birthday. My daughter passed away my freshman year. It was on her birthday. So another story inside of a story, I wasn't going to play in the game. Like, my knees were hurting so bad that game. I was like, Coach, I'm not going to play. He looked at my receiver coach. It was like right before kickoff, I went to him and I was like, Coach, I'm going to play. It got better. I'm straight. But it wasn't like jitters or anything. It was like really I could barely walk. And I feel like my daughter carried me through that game, and then when that play happened, I was like, man, that was her. That was her all day.
That's all. I didn't know that story. I really didn't. That's pretty amazing, Shay. That's good
Appreciate
stuff.
You sharing that with us.
That's what it's all about right there.
That's right.
Wow, I had no idea. I mean, always been impressed with you. You know that, and we're going to continue to follow you throughout your coaching career, man. I know that there's big things on the horizon for you. And, hey, we got to get you out here sometime for some wings and when we do one of these shows. How about that? Good deal, Shay. Nope. Did we lose him?
Yeah.
Oh, he's still there.
I'm
okay.
I'm here. My phone keep breaking up, I guess. But, yeah, I'm up for it. You guys just let me know, man. I'll be there.
Maybe we can go do a game with Hillcrest next year. That'd be fun. That'd be great, wouldn't it, Coach?
Hey, our game of the week has been pretty popular this year, Shay, in case you didn't know that. So we might need to come out to Hillcrest next year.
Hey, let's do it. I'm all for it.
Okay, man. Hey, enjoy your weekend. Happy late Thanksgiving to you and yours. And thanks for hanging out with us, man, here on this Friday night. I'll be catching up with you soon, my man.
All right. Same to you guys.
All right, Shay. Appreciate that. He's Shay Hodge, former Ole Miss wide receiver, current Hillcrest Christian head football coach, and he joins us tonight. I think he was heading up to check out the Starkville and Oxford game earlier tonight. And so we appreciate Shay for joining us, and just a great guy. I didn't know that story.
That's heartfelt.
I did not know that story. I'm telling the truth right here, live on camera. I did not know that story. And so we appreciate Shay for joining us and sharing that with us. So tell you what, we're going to try to work in David Culpepper. Can we do that? Yeah, maybe. As we're live here at Buffalo Wild Wings. If you're in the area and you happen to be watching, you're like, man, I've been Black Friday shopping all day. I need some food or a drink or something to wind down. They're here till midnight. Come hang out. And when we come back, we'll also have some footage from last night's Egg Bowl, a 21-20 win for Mississippi State. Wild and woolly finish. We've got some of the highlights for you coming up on the other side of this break. We're back in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
A smile is one of the first things most people notice.
Culpepper.
And for over a decade, Germany Dental has helped change smiles for thousands of people across Mississippi.
I was so embarrassed about my teeth that I never smiled. But now that I have dental implants and cosmetic veneers from Germany Dental, I can't stop smiling. My decision to see Dr. Germany literally changed my life.
Germany Dental, changing lives, one smile at a time. Call 601-825-4746 today.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
With 2 boys, I know about suspicious odors.
But CenterPoint Energy taught me something important. If I smell rotten eggs, it might be a gas leak. I should leave on foot immediately and call both CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe location. I also never store flammables like paint or gasoline near my natural gas appliances. One spark is all it takes to ignite fumes.
CenterPoint Energy provides tips to help you keep your family safe. CenterPoint Energy. Always there.
Before digging in my yard, I always call 811 to have my utility lines marked to avoid service interruptions or injury. As CenterPoint Energy says, it's better to call 811 now than 911 later. And if I suspect a gas leak, I leave the area immediately on foot and call CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe, remote location. Really?
CenterPoint Energy invests in its infrastructure to help keep you safe. CenterPoint Energy. Always there.
Like hunting or fishing, Van Sporting Goods is a tradition that's been passed down through the generations. Since 1992, Mississippi's hunters have come to Vans to gear up for their favorite seasons. And this season is no different. You can't miss with the Loophole Optics. And find the perfect fit for the largest gun selection in Mississippi, featuring Browning, Benelli, Winchester, and more, plus accessories that take your outings to the next level. Van Sporting Goods, a name you know as well as your own.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCI, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi Community Colleges. The MNCI provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCI is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCI and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
A smile is one of the first things most people notice. And for over a decade, Germany Dental has helped change smiles for thousands of people across Mississippi.
I was so embarrassed about my teeth that I never smiled. But now that I have dental implants and cosmetic veneers from Germany Dental, I can't stop smiling. My decision to see Dr. Germany literally changed my life.
Germany Dental, changing lives, one smile at a time. Call 601-825-4746 today.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
With 2 boys, I know about suspicious odors.
But CenterPoint Energy taught me something important. If I smell rotten eggs, it might be a gas leak. I should leave on foot immediately and call both CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe location. I also never store flammables like paint or gasoline near my natural gas appliances. One spark is all it takes to ignite fumes.
CenterPoint Energy provides tips to help you keep your family safe. Center Point Energy. Always there.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
Need your business to stand out and pop? Then it's time to visit Polshap's Screen Print and Embroidery in Brandon. Polshap's can custom design your marketing campaigns with custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional materials that set you apart from the competition. Speaking of setting apart, Polshap's does all their work in-house from start to finish. No outsourcing, meaning faster turnaround time and lower prices for you, the customer. Visit Polshaps.com to find out more and get started on standing out.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCE, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi Community Colleges. The MNCE provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCE is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCE and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
You wouldn't.
All right, we're back here at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm going to teach him Mike's in your face. It's hot.
It's hot.
Be careful. All right, we're winding up here. We're waiting on David Culpepper to patch in. And while we wait on him, in case you missed it, ICYMI. Chris has the clip. Russian television had the final moments of the Egg Bowl chaos last night. Here's how it sounded.
Поэтому, возможно, мы с тобой здесь.
Да, вполне возможно. Именно поэтому. Тачдаун.
Тачдаун.
Элайджа Мур.
О, это сейчас флаг. Будет флаг-то?
Выбросил арбитр.
Видно было. Надо подальше начальный удар. Это бред, это какой-то идиотизм. Но замечательно. Замечательно. Кто на кого, так сказать, написал? Фантастика.
Не попадает в реализацию. И Элайджа Мур.
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore. Good stuff, man. That's
Wait
great.
a minute.
He does it and they go, oh.
And then
even in Russia, they know it's not appropriate.
Even in the last one there, where the guy starts laughing on the missed extra point, that was just incredibly. Can we play it again? Is it possible? I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. I've watched this 100 times today. I'm not even joking.
Возможно, мы с тобой здесь.
Да, вполне возможно. Именно поэтому. Тачдаун.
Тачдаун.
And they get it. You know, they understand it.
Будет флаг-то?
Выбросил арбитр, видно было.
Надо подальше начальный удар. Это бред, это какой-то идиотизм. Но замечательно. Замечательно. Кто на кого, так сказать, написал? Фантастика.
Не попадает в реализацию. И Элайджа Мур.
Elijah Moore.
Only in America.
I mean, I could almost play that for the final 5 minutes. I'm not even kidding. That is just too funny. I mean, even in Russia, like Jeff just said, they knew that was not very cool of Elijah Moore. That was a bad mistake. So when you hear the Egg Bowl in Russian, the final moments of a wacky game like that, and you hear it in Russian, you got to play it. You got to put it on the Friday Night End Zone show on the Spirit Media Network. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic.
I mean, not just during football season. That's one of the funniest things ever that I've ever seen. You got some stuff from the Egg Bowl? No? We're not going to roll that? No? Okay. Oh, I thought you said you had something. No? Okay. I got to mess with you. It's our last show, so I got to mess with Chris. I'll tell you what. I don't know if we're going to connect with David.
Okay.
So our guest list has been pretty phenomenal tonight. We talked about the college football playoff. Don't know if we're going to be able to get David tonight. I think he's dealing with some other stuff. But David Culpepper, Marketing Director of King's Daughters Medical Center, we'll talk about him in a second. But I want to get your final thoughts as we close out this chapter of this season. I'm not going to say this is the last time that you guys are going to see us here during football season, but at least in the way that it's looked so far this year, this is our last Friday night for a broadcast during football season. So with that said, this is our swan song. I'll be honest, it's been quite the ride. It took me a long time. I'm a dyed-in-the-wool radio guy. It took a long time for me to get here to this point to want to do this. And now we're on probably 4, 5, 6 TVs here in Buffalo Wild Wings now. This has been a blessing, an absolute blessing. You know, God's opened a lot of doors for us this year, for our crew, for our team. And I can't be more thankful for the opportunities. You know, I'm still that little boy that, you know, even being out on the field at the Egg Bowl last night, you know, and what bothers me is to this day, media members that still don't have that twinkle in their eye when they get to walk the field at Scott Field, at Davis Wade, or at Vaught Hemingway at Ole Miss, or not many people get to walk the field in Baton Rouge, honestly, not from Mississippi. And so we get to go to LSU quite a bit. We were there for Florida LSU this year, there last year for Mississippi State and Ole Miss's football games down that way. We're very fortunate to be able to go and do what we do on college football Saturdays. And, again, I'm still that little kid that enjoyed just getting when the players would take off their wristbands and throw them, you know, when they were walking to the locker room. I'm still that kid. Yes, I'm a professional adult now, but if you still don't have that fire, that want to, that twinkle in your eye, and that, you know, that feeling in your heart that, man, I love to do this. I just love to be around sports, love to be around football, love to be able to do this, and you can't take it for granted. And I think so many in this industry take it for granted. Don't take it for granted if you're fortunate to have a radio show, if you're fortunate to be able to have what we have, if you're fortunate to be on television, if you're fortunate to write a column, whether it's paper, digital, doesn't matter. Don't take it for granted. We are so blessed to be able to do what we do, to be able to cover these teams, cover these kids at the high school level, college level, to be able to tell the stories like Shay Hodge just told us live on the air, and to be able to cover stuff like this. It is truly, truly a blessing. And I thank Jesus Christ every day, not just for saving my soul, but for giving me the opportunities that he's blessed me with. We're named Spirit for a reason. It's not the spirit of sports. It's not the spirit of community. Yes, all those things are important. It's named Spirit Media Network because when we named this company, it was about being led by God's Spirit, trusting his voice, trying to represent him in the best possible way that we can, and never shying away from giving him the glory, giving him the praise, and giving him the honor. And we're never going to shy away from that. So just know that. We're built on faith. Do we always act like it? No, of course not. We're human and flawed, at least I am, to the nth degree. Gotta have grace every day, got to. But we're where we are, and we're able to do the things that we do because of God's great grace and him opening doors for us. And this year, to this point, has been the best season ever, and you were a part of that. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity, and I would also add that, you know, when you have an idea and a thought of something that you want to do to succeed, and an idea that you have, you're an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
Don't doubt that that's the Holy Spirit guiding you to make that happen. And as badly as you wanted to fight it for the past 3 years, I'm glad you finally gave in and did this, because it's been a great opportunity that continues to open doors and it continues to expand. And but I would like to encourage those also that if you have the opportunity, seize the moment and go for it.
Yeah, what are you telling me? Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, we'll do that. I mean, we're live here. We got a lot of folks to thank, by the way. Of course, I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He goodness, he's opened up so many doors, and didn't expect that to come. He's been good to us. He's been really, really good to us, and gosh, I didn't expect that to happen. it's been a great year. Been a really good year.
Yeah.
Good year.
He takes care of us, and he opens doors. So many times that, you and I had conversations about, what's going to happen with this and what's going to happen with that. And, we talked about it. We prayed about it. And, the Lord's going to open doors that he wants open. And he's going to close the doors that he wants closed. But he's also going to open windows that you don't even know are there.
Windows. You went to Windows sermon. I like it.
So, the point is, take the opportunities that he gives you and go with it and trust in him to pave the way and follow his path. And it's going to lead you down the right path that he's going to lay out for you and make possible for you, even when it seems impossible. Sponsors coming through the week before or something is due.
Yeah. Oof.
So, yeah. I'll just leave it there.
We had a little dig. A friendly dig. No. I like it because Jeff and I. For folks that don't know, I mean, this is Jeff's first year doing anything like this. So Jeff and I have been really good friends for a long time, going back to our high school days. We just saw a classmate in here moments ago, by the way. Hello, Shannon. In case you watch later. This is. We have conversations every week about faith, family, and football. That's what we talk about.
And food.
Yes,
faith, family,
obviously.
football, and food.
Faith, family, football, and food.
Right.
And so we talk about a lot of different things. And this year, again, it's been one of the best. It's been the best year yet. Brand new crew, and this took a long time for me to get here. It did. So to our sponsors, there are many of them. Can you hand me the commercial log? I'm going to just read off of this. Thank you, Chris. Chris Bragg. We're going to talk about him in a second. Trust me. King's Daughters Medical Center, David Culpepper. Wow, thank you for not just being a friend, but for just being a sponsor, but being a friend, being a confidant. We run everything by David. He's more than just a sponsor. He's a good friend. I mean, he really, really is. The folks in Mississippi Ag, wow, they took a chance this year. They really did. Had not had any contact with them before. Had kind of tried to make some things happen in the past, but it had never really transpired the way that we wanted to. And then this year, when we presented them with this, it just clicked. So thank you to everybody at Mississippi Ag up. Hey, everybody needs a tractor this time of year, right? Black Friday shopping, just FYI. Centerpoint Energy, shout out to Jason and crew. Appreciate them so much. Everybody over in Houston, appreciate them so much as well. Centerpoint, we have a ringing endorsement from everybody at Centerpoint. Appreciate them. The folks at Van Sporting Goods, we appreciate you guys for jumping on board. Lakeside Molding, Miss Mandy and crew, right down the road here on Lakeland Drive. So we appreciate them for jumping on board as always. Jonathan Germany at Germany Dental, with another classmate.
Yep.
Yeah, by the way. So sing the jingle. No, don't do it. You were singing it.
In my head, it was. You can't help it.
We came back from break
It's
one
the
time,
hook.
and he was singing the jingle. And he didn't know it. Of course, Exit Realty, Tony Bahu and crew there. Let's see. I know I'm leaving somebody out. Mincy, the folks over at the Mississippi Community College Board. Appreciate them, of course, here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Sponsored several of our projects and whatnot this year. Let's see. I know I'm leaving somebody out. The Garner Company jumped on earlier this year for one of our games of the week. Of course, there's some of you local sponsors that I'm probably not going to remember all of you. Some folks down in Petal, some folks over at Scott Central. Our game of the week was just an insane success. Sports Center picked up our clip of the Famiko James catch, and we had literally millions of views. Again, that's why I get choked up, because I could have never envisioned that this would explode this quickly. Been doing this a long time. I could have never expected that we'd have the kind of popularity. Oh, yeah, thank you, Pole Chaps, for the embroidery of the T-shirts and shirts here, of course. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. So to all of our sponsors, a sincere, heartfelt, whether you're local or whether you're one of the corporate sponsors, thank you sincerely to every single one of you. We appreciate it. We'll
see you next year.
And we'll see you next year. Or maybe here in a few
or
months.
Sooner.
Or
right.
sooner.
Yes.
More about that. Let's see. Chris McDonald, utility player on our crew here. He's been the guy that knows what the word loyalty means more than most. Chris is as loyal as they come. Everybody needs a utility player. We talked about one of the guys out on the crew yesterday for JTV being a utility player. Chris McDonald is that guy for us. He'll do whatever you ask him to do.
And we appreciate the loyalty.
And we appreciate loyalty more than you know. It's very important. To us, loyalty is important. So we appreciate Chris McDonald. Logan Campbell was our technical director this year. We appreciate him for jumping on board, traveling with us every week. Newman Kazari.
Nobody's got a better cameraman.
I'm going to tell you something.
Nobody does.
The camera shots we had this year, and Chris Bragg and I have talked a lot about that. If there was a Friday night broadcast and even some Saturday broadcast that had better camera shots, tight shots for the replays that we had this year,
yeah,
I don't know where they are, because Newman just hit it out of the park every single week. He's had some stuff going on. He's been going through kind of a hard time. Had some stuff going on, but just
and he could have left us hanging.
Speaking
of loyalty,
had every excuse on several Friday nights to say I can't make it, but he showed up, and we appreciate that. Tony Bahu,
yeah,
we gave him a shout out earlier. Appreciate him so much, and Chris Bragg, my man.
Please brag on Bragg.
I'm gonna give you a chance to brag on him too, because let me tell you something. If there's ever an example of God bringing two folks together to work on a project, to work on creating something that they both have a passion for, both have a desire for, and it's their faith, and it's their love for sport, it's their love for people, it's their understanding that you're given a platform, and you can touch people with that platform. You can use it for God's glory. You can use it to impact people. I know it might sound cheesy to you guys. That's okay. But it's the truth of it. So I never met Chris before. Get introduced by a mutual friend, and the rest, as they say, is history. I can tell Chris something, and he says, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. And I'm going to tell you something. That's rare in this day and time. Let me just tell you something. Do you mind if I tell your age? Is that okay? No? He's on camera, by the way, so wait. I know you're 20. He's picking on me because I've said, you're just a 19-year-old, and you know all this stuff. He said, Jason just turned 20, and I'm like, my bad. Just forgot. Sorry about that. So, Chris, man, I love you, dude. I do, and appreciate you. I mean, Chris is the mastermind behind all of this. That's really the truth of it. You see our faces. You see us out there on WJTV Sports Zone. You see us hanging out with Nick Niehaus and Joe Cook over at APT and talking to them and everything. You hear and see our voices, or not hear and see our voices. You hear our voices on the Sports Center clip. When Famiko James made the catch, you've seen Randy Moss use our clip on Sports Center. It's Chris that put this stuff together. The equipment, the gear, the production. When you see these replays and all this stuff on Friday nights, and then when we're covering college football, when you see our interviews, he's the one behind it. He's the one putting it together. He's the engine. He is, and he is an important part of what we do this year, what we've done this year, and what we're going to continue to do. So, Chris, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Gosh, I know I'm leaving somebody out. Who am I leaving out?
I don't know. I'm just going to reiterate that Chris is – we call him the kid. But
we do.
He's
Why?
He's also the man.
Why do we call him the kid, do you know?
Because he was 19 years old. Now he's 20.
He's 20. Get
20.
it right, Jeff.
I've got it. He's 20, but
he shoots it straight.
He does.
Shoots straight.
Straight shooter.
Sharp shooter, man. He's the kid.
Like Billy the Kid.
Chris
the Kid.
That's right.
No, but he's wise beyond his years, because we've dealt with other people that are older than he is, but are not as far along as he is, as far as professionalism and loyalty, I might add.
So word for tonight.
It is the word of the night, because it's important, especially in an industry like this that I've grown to learn about. It is very important.
I'm going to help you.
Thank you.
How about that?
Yeah.
No.
So much.
Pull it over a little bit. There you go.
So loyalty is important, and we've got it with the crew that we've had this year. It's been great.
I want to thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. You know, there were a lot of times where I really just wanted to throw it in. I'll be honest, because I've been doing this for a long time. I don't want to tip my hand on my age, but I've been doing it. Don't.
I won't.
Be nice.
I won't. I am younger though.
Not by much. And there were times where I was like, you know what, man, I'm good. I'm going to go do something else. And, you know, I don't know if I want to mess with this broadcast stuff anymore. Now, granted, there is an aspect of the broadcast world that I'm not going to touch anymore. You guys pretty much figure out what that is. We're on camera, and that should tell you everything you need to know. So, again, Jeff was one of the ones that really talked me into this. I'm going to be honest with you. So the guy sitting to my left is just as responsible for what you see on Friday nights as a Chris Bragg or a Newman Kazari or our sponsors. Because if Jeff doesn't stay on me for 3 years to say, I guess I'll just say it. I mean, it's our Roku channel and our stuff. You know, you need to tell radio, we'll see you. Take care. It's been real. We've been able to track our results. I mean, over, what is it now, 130,000 views or whatever it is to date, something like that. I haven't even looked lately, to be honest with you. The last time I looked, it was at like 122, 123, somewhere in that neighborhood. That's a lot of views, folks. And now we're able to track our analytics for our sponsors, for our partners, and be able to tell where folks are watching games from, watching our broadcast from, and so on and so forth. So thank you, buddy. Thanks for staying on me, believing in me, and just being a part of this wonderful, awesome, crazy, insane ride this year.
And I gotta put it right back at you. Tennis match. I've appreciated the opportunity to do this and learn what you do. It's amazing how much work you put into this, and guys, you just don't know. It's not like he just gets up on Friday afternoon and says, I'm going to go talk a little bit about a football game and then repeat starting, the following Friday. No, it's an everyday, 7 days a week, 14, 16-hour day, because he's calling sponsors, he's calling coaches, he's researching, he's doing all sorts of things that I don't even know what goes into this.
Putting out fires,
tracking down the kid who's got a busier schedule than either one of us combined.
His calendar just, no.
Yeah. So, thanks for putting all the hard work into this. It's been a great football season. I am glad that you finally pulled the trigger on this and all the different platforms, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Folks, that's going to do it. We'll catch up with David Culpepper at another time, and we'll catch up with the managers here at another time. And I think we're ready to wrap up. Yeah? What's that? Yeah, let's do the Russian thing one more time. Can we? I mean, we need a good laugh. We're going to talk over it, too, by the way. Exactly.
Touchdown.
I got that part.
Elijah Moore.
There it goes.
Here comes the leg.
Будет флаг-то.
Wait, what? Watch your mouth.
Надо подальше начальный удар. Это бред, это какой-то идиотизм. Но замечательно. Замечательно. Кто на кого?
They missed it. By the way, if you speak Russian and can translate that, please feel free to let us know.
By the way, the end zone shot was the kid's shot for ESPN last night, just FYI. So that shows you the kind of folks that we work with now. Last call for alcohol. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah. You don't have to worry about that.
He's 20.
Look, can we play it one more time? I want to talk over this one more time. I'm sorry. This is just too funny. It is. This is just. Chris says some crazy.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. I got that. Touchdown. Okay.
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore.
Будет флаг-то.
Wait. Family show.
Надо подальше начальный удар. Это бред, это какой-то идиотизм. Но замечательно. Замечательно. Кто на кого, так сказать, написал. Фантастика.
Не попадает в реализацию, и Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore.
Oh, my gosh.
That's good stuff.
Look, folks, I'm not laughing that Ole Miss lost the game. I'm not laughing that it's just funny how the guys reacted, and it's all in Russian. Wow. That's fun. Oh, man. I could watch that a million times. I'm not kidding. That's so good. Had fun, man. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Chris, thank you. All of our sponsors, all of you who watch every week, our media partners, our friends over at Channel 12 for having us on the Sports Zone. You don't have to, but you do. And all of our media partners, all of our sponsors, all of our friends, happy holidays. I'm sure we'll see you sometime down the road soon for basketball and baseball season. One final time, we're signing off here from Buffalo Wild Wings here on the Spirit Media Network.